There's no shortage of awful entitled influencers, but today I've got a real special goofball to show with all of you. His name is Icy Wyatt, and he was recently arrested for pistol whipping some guy during an incident of road rage, and now the body camera footage has just been released of the arrest, and he seems to be one of the most insufferable people I've ever seen in the content creator sphere. He's a TikTok star, a word used very loosely here. He has about 1 million followers there, but I'm pretty sure like half of that's gotta be bots or legitimate lobotomy victims because he gets no engagement and people just make fun of him there. So I don't know how that number even got so high to begin with. I assume it's just people that like shooting spitballs at him and giving him wedgies online because that's all he seems to be used for, just this little punching bag on TikTok for them to make fun of. And he's so proud of that.
This guy got out of his car and pistol with me with a gun.
The calls continued to filter in.
Yeah, there's a guy driving around in a pink Mercedes. He almost just hit a lady with pushing a little stroller with some kids in the shopping center.
This fairy tale unfolds in the beautiful land of dreams that's near and dear to my heart, Florida. Florida's done it again with yet another banger. I'm sure you all just expected by default that this happened in Florida, and you're correct in that assumption. It did. Now, on the day of the road rage, a ton of 911 calls flooded in because there was a pink SUV that was driving recklessly, almost hitting a woman and her children, and eventually culminating with him hitting another man with the gun that he was waving around like it was some kind of fucking toy. Now, there is a video that exists showing him driving recklessly in this parking lot, though it cuts off before any of the pistol whipping stuff, but you can at least see the way that he handles his little clown mobile here. He drives like he's in GTA Online, but is also lagging. He is a shit driver, he almost wrecks, and he does almost hit someone in this video.
A video. This was after he
hit him?
Yes. He was chasing them inside the parking lot, like a crazy.
Good shit, Icy Wyatt. You just graduate from doofus school as valedictorian, you fucking idiot. Absolute piece of shit. Apparently, him and that truck had recently got into a bit of a tiff on the road where Icy Wyatt was accusing him of brake checking him because he recognized Icy Wyatt's car and wanted his attention. This guy is so fucking delusional that he thinks everyone in the world knows who he is because he's like the second coming of Christ. So he thought he got cut off and brake checked by that truck because it was a fan trying to get his attention. And eventually it ended up with this situation you just saw, and then it led further into Icy Wyatt pulling out a gun, threatening him, and then eventually just hitting him with the gun.
Hey, put the car in park. Put the car in park. Let's go, put it in park. All right, put both your hands out the window.
Put your hands out the window.
Put both of your hands out the window, kid. We're not fucking with you.
I don't know who I am.
Nope.
It's almost impressive how unlikable Wyatt is. He chose the one sentence that'll immediately make everyone in the world hate you. The cops are confronting him and he's like, you guys don't know who I am? I have 1 million followers on TikTok. That means I'm above the law. Put the guns down, guys. It's not a big deal. I can pistol whip whoever I want. I'm a TikTok superstar. You guys, oh, you must want autographs. Okay, I get it. Sorry. Wyatt is clearly suffering from terminal clout hunger. There is no cure. He's become delusional. He's in the final stages of it. He can no longer separate reality from fiction. He is trapped in this delusion, this fantasy land, where 1 million followers on TikTok means the whole world knows who you are. He holds himself up like he's Jesus Christ because he has 1 million followers, and the laws don't apply to him anymore. He's achieved a level that normal mortals can't get to because he has a small TikTok audience. 1 million followers is a ton, but his actual core audience is not 1 million. Like I said, nobody engages with this guy unless they're throwing tomatoes at him and booing him. It's like that episode of SpongeBob where the guy in the crowd goes, "Oh brother, this guy stinks." That's Wyatt's whole life. What's up? You come up here to make fun of Icy Wyatt too? Hmm? I know, he's pathetic. I know.
Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car. Do it now. Take your seatbelt off and get out of the car.
Though Wyatt denies he has a gun in his vehicle, several witnesses allege that they saw him with one.
Where's his keys? Just they got keys or a fob?
Wyatt's lecturing the police like he's the substitute teacher in a rowdy classroom. Show some respect. I'm a TikTok star. Please, have some decency. I'm above you. It is infuriating. Everything Wyatt says is like the worst dialogue options in a video game that make you hate the fucking character you're playing as. He is actually finding all of the worst possible responses that would make even his biggest fans hate him. It's so impressive. It is a speed run for the most unlikable TikTok star ever. So, he wasn't really cooperating with the officers. They do eventually tackle him. They get him with like a fucking Goldberg spear. And it was pretty satisfying to watch, I'm not gonna lie, because this guy's a fucking douchebag and deserved it. So I think that busted up his nose a little bit, which is why you'll see him with a bloody nose. And then he apparently denied having a gun, despite so many witnesses saying he did. And he eventually just gave them permission to search the car, and they immediately found the gun. It wasn't even a difficult scavenger hunt. The Easter Bunny would be disappointed. He did not hide the eggs well here. They found the gun the second they got to the car, basically.
I have something else to say about the incident.
I don't hit nobody.
Well, they're saying otherwise, and they described the gun and everything, and there was somebody else that was watching.
So my girlfriend can't be a witness too.
Was she with you?
Yes. I pulled the gun out to show them through the window, like, don't f with me, and they all went back in their car.
Yes, he came home after being attacked by two hillbilly crazy people in a truck.
But he pistol whipped them over the top of their head.
Because they attacked him. Okay. So what are you trying to do so for? Just like defend the hillbillies who got punched in the face with a gun?
Well, if they got pistol whipped with a gun, then they're victims.
His girlfriend heroically arrives at the scene. It's the fourth quarter. Icy Wyatt's down by quite a bit, but now his girlfriend is here to really help win the game for him. Except she's playing for the other team. She comes here and immediately confirms that icy, whiny Wyatt was lying once again. Fucking weasel. She immediately validates the claims of the pistol whipping happening. She confirms that Wyatt did in fact hit them with his gun, something that Wyatt is denying having happened at all. She swooped in here and offered key evidence against her boyfriend Wyatt here. It was fucking poetic justice. She came in here and just told the truth, which is a real thorn in the side to Wyatt. Pistol whipping is no joke. That shit can be fatal. Like, that is very dangerous. But luckily for the victims of the assault here, Wyatt's got some wet noodles for arms. He's got the scrawniest little arms I've seen since Slender Man, so he wasn't able to generate enough force to, like, really hurt them, but it was enough to still cause a bit of damage to one of the victims, as I understand it. Now, his girlfriend does say that that truck was, like, speeding around them, so that's the attack she's referring to, I believe.
He's a victim of being attacked while driving. They were speeding in front of him. So you guys not aware of, like, the full story?
We heard that there was some kind of a road rage incident that started it.
That's not really an attack, though. This isn't Twisted Metal. They didn't speed in front of him and start dropping spike trips and homing missiles out the back, firing fucking torpedoes at Wyatt and his vehicle. It sounds like it was an instance of them maybe cutting him off or speeding around him, and he took it personally and got really offended, and then went way, way, way hog wild with the whole thing, following them into that parking lot, getting reckless and crazy, hitting them with the gun, all that shit.
You can't take my phone.
Actually, by law, they are allowed to take his phone.
You can't take my phone. This is my possession, so now you're going to be a thief? Now you're going to be a thief.
You're under arrest. You're not allowed to have the phone, okay?
Wow.
Unfortunately, that was going too far for Wyatt. The good boy was about to go bad. He never envisioned a world without his phone in the palm of his hands. So when they took his phone, he was fucking flabbergasted. And now he's got a chip on his shoulder. He gets real unpleasant and even more obnoxious and annoying.
You don't see any problem with this. You don't see the problem that somebody with a bright pink car who is famous online gets with on the freeways all the time, and that's why I carry a gun. That is, you said legal was in Florida.
It is legal in Florida to have a gun in your car. There's nothing illegal about that. So where can you prove,
show me the video proof where I hit him with a gun?
There is video proof of the reckless driving and nearly hitting people in the parking lot. and the victim who got pistol whipped showed the injuries, and his girlfriend also confirmed the pistol whipping. So I'd say there's a high level of confidence behind the pistol whipping being the real story, and Wyatt being full of shit, just a load of dirty barnacles. It's almost impossible not to laugh at Wyatt. In fact, after Wyatt got even more rowdy and rambunctious and insulting the officers, starting to kick them and shit, they started making fun of him too. They started calling him Joe Exotic. And when they were bringing him into the police station, they said, "Welcome, Tiger King." And that gave me a hearty giggle. I actually thought that was a pretty good one. Wyatt is just a fucking clown. So his statement here, he drives a bright pink SUV and people fuck with him all the time on the freeway because he's famous. So they recognize his car and mess with him while he's driving, which is why he carries a gun. How delusional do you have to be? He actually has a mental illness. He has main character syndrome. He believes that since he has a high number of followers on TikTok, everyone in the world knows him and everyone in the world is out to get him or, try and get his attention. They're all vying for his attention and they'll do anything to get it.
Did you guys actually get in an accident? I mean, he's got a big ass, knot on the back of his head. No, but there are independent witnesses. So, I mean, not everybody knows who you are.
It doesn't matter. I have 58 million followers, baby girl. Everybody who's been on TikTok or Instagram has seen Wyatt.
This is where I think his delusion is actually kind of dangerous and scary. So he obviously can't tell the truth under any circumstances, I guess. Fucking Wonder Woman's lasso of truth would be useless against this guy. I don't know if he's ever been honest about anything ever. All he does is lie. He's full-blown Pinocchio here. He doesn't have 58 million followers. You absolute goober. You have 1 million followers on TikTok, which is your only platform, really. Very odd thing to lie about, but then it gets into what I consider a very scary territory where he's talking about how people make shit up about him all the time because he's so famous. Everyone on TikTok and Instagram has seen his face before. The dude must be trapped in a perpetual genjutsu, straight out of Naruto. He is in a paranoid delusion. Not everyone in the world knows who he is, and not everyone is out to get him. Holy shit.
I said you don't know that this guy knows who you are.
Oh, he so did.
Oh, did he say something?
When somebody swerving into my lane, brake checking me, wanting me to stop, wanting me to race my car, coming out the car, I know that's a fan.
One other thing that he's done multiple times throughout the conversation, and does many more throughout the conversations going forward, is he calls her baby girl. It's making my skin crawl. It's so fucking cringe. He'll call her baby girl sometimes. It's really creepy. But I mean, clearly he is mentally unwell. Someone swerving into your lane is not a fan trying to get your attention. Holy shit.
Nobody tased you, though. What? You didn't get tased. Okay, I'm not gonna tase you. I'm just saying you didn't get tased. Because you just said so.
I actually think there's a good chance he's on drugs right now. He starts rambling about absolutely nothing, like tasing from out of nowhere. And then she's like, well, you didn't get tased and we're not gonna tase you. And then he took that as a threat. So then he makes a threat back saying that if she tased him, he'd fuck her up and go to jail for the rest of his life. I don't think you could fuck up anyone. You would probably lose in a fight to an inflatable, wacky, arm-flailing tube man. You are not built for fighting. You would get your ass beat. You would get turned inside out. So I don't know why he's threatening physical violence against this woman. And I don't know how stupid you have to be to threaten physical violence against a police officer too. She was very, very patient with this guy because she just brushed it off and laughed at him. I guess because he is so pathetic, all you can really do is laugh at someone that's this embarrassing of a person. But goddamn, he is so fucking dumb, it's unreal.
You're dumb, girl.
Am I?
You're real dumb. You might want to try modeling.
I definitely can't do that.
You definitely might want to try modeling. So you just...
I definitely can't do that.
This is what I'm talking about when he just goes off on these weird fucking tangents saying that she needs to do Molly so she can shut the fuck up. What are you talking about, man? I don't even think he's in the same dimension that the rest of the planet is in. He is all over the place. I really do think that the entire day he spent in like some kind of fucking meth-induced haze or some shit. He is actually just all over the place.
Why, where are you going?
Let me see you do it first then.
What?
We're gonna
You're not
fill
about
out
to
as we
take
do
$30,000, $40,000 worth of jewelry without me knowing exactly
And
where
I'm
it's
gonna
going.
write, come on now. I don't
You this to me the whole entire time in the car.
So nice to you.
No,
Things really popped off when they told him that he can't really take the jewelry into jail with him, so he put up a big fuss. He eventually started kicking the officers, and now he's facing a lot of charges. I think he goes to trial next month, so I'm really curious to see how that plays out, because for some reason he seems to believe that he's in the right, so he started threatening lawsuits against the officers after he was kicking them and shit. So, very goofy situation here, very goofy guy, and I just had to talk about this. What an insufferable little asshole. So yeah, that's Icy Wyatt for you. Someone I'm sure none of you have ever heard of before and will most likely forget about very quickly, because he's just a forgettable little worm of a person. That's really about it. So yeah. There's nothing as useless as those YouTubers, self-help gurus that just feed you inspirational cliches and tell you that if you keep buying their books, you'll magically manifest success and riches, somehow be getting laid all the time, you'll be getting more pussy than a pair of panties. They just keep pumping these programs that are extremely expensive that are somehow convincing desperate people that by spending money on this program, it'll allow them to become these successful alpha males. It's fucking sad. It's not helpful, it's useless. It's not even goofy, it's just pathetic. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. It's taking advantage of people that are extremely vulnerable, maybe just going through a rough period, and they see these 2-hour-long videos that it's manifest your second brain in order to make $1 million, and then it's just useless quotes, useless sentences, and then sometimes them just selling a product that is again just preying on your vulnerabilities. I absolutely hate that whole self-help guru community for the most part. I do think there are genuinely good people that try and help other people through their own life experience and telling them certain things, but those people aren't usually the ones selling $2,000, $5,000 programs that are basically just telling you, quit your job, buy a suit, get a dog, hit the gym, and then purchase my shungite crystals to rub over your body in order to align your chakras with success. Then all of a sudden the stork or the tooth fairy's gonna drop $50,000 under your pillow tonight. It's just absolute fucking garbage. And kind of stemming from that, I found on stream one time that there's entire channels built around just these long, hour-long, 2-hour-long videos where it's some narrator just saying things like, I will manifest my money. My success is entirely in my own hands, and I will be successful. This is just completely worthless, and it's just a lot of bad nonsense, so I wanted to share a little bit of that with you. This is why all billionaires wake up at exactly 4 a.m. What? Is it like something magical and mystical, like 3 a.m. being the witching hour, 4 a.m.'s the billionaire time?
Why are successful people waking up at 4 a.m. and not a different hour? What is the secret behind it?
Is this satire? This is definitely a skit.
Well, they know how their brain works, and they take advantage of their brainwave states and brain chemistry.
Sounds like Microsoft Sam when you
patterns
put the bass all the way down.
Wave. But when you wake up this early, you are between theta and alpha.
Wow.
The mind is capable of deep and profound learning, being fully aware and focused with an effort.
So pretty much this whole channel and multiple channels like it all have the same style where it sounds like God narrating and giving horrible advice. It seems like more of just a prank than anything to see if they can convince people to wake up at 4 a.m. just to laugh at them.
Why do they go to bed so early? Between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is where you can get the most from regenerative and deep sleep.
That's so
After
arbitrary.
2 a.m., sleep lacks the... This one is responsible for the repair and restoration of the whole body.
Fine, I'm gonna get up at 4 a.m.
For this 10 p.m. reaction
become
to
a
take
billionaire.
place, your
Whatever.
body needs to slow down, which
Wake up at
translates
4 a.m.
into
one time,
reduction
release an
of your
NFT the
mental
next
and
day.
Physical activity. Studies show that if you go
This
past
feels
the 10
evil.
p.m. bedtime, you'll find it more difficult to fall
brainwashing.
asleep. Early risers, and they don't need to ask for it.
No, you can wake up
That
at 4 a.m. and
silence
still be a
of early
loser.
morning hours is what helps them
Plenty of
use
people
their
do it.
potential to the maximum. High level.
What do they even gain out of making this video?
Disciplined morning.
It's just all
guides
wrong.
them towards a whole day of discipline, and this is exactly
What,
what supports
like,
their successful life.
Are they selling sleep?
Peaceful
Is this a
and
mattress
quiet
company?
time you get
What is this channel? Is it all like this? Just blatantly wrong and weird shit. It goes straight to your subconscious mind. I am. Affirmations for success, wealth, and happiness. Bro, I wish you could just listen to a video. It's like, you are going to make $1 million today. And it just like happens. It's like, damn, alright, thanks for affirming it. This is so sad. Like, there are absolutely people, I have no doubt, for the last 3 years this has been up. They listen to this daily and are wondering why they're still not a millionaire. It's super cult-like, really. They really try and convince people that one of the big secrets to billionaire success is the fact they get up at 4 a.m. specifically, or just being an early riser. Even though, if you get up at 4 a.m. for the rest of your life, there's a almost 100% chance you won't become a billionaire.
I am love, and I am compassion.
I am esports.
Deficiencies transform through love and acceptance. Today, my own well-being is my main priority.
Yeah!
I completely trust my inner voice.
Well, that's not always like the best guide.
The more I get to know myself.
Man, they made a killing off this trend. I am rich.
I release all negative energy over money. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly. I use money to better my life and the lives of others.
Not wrong when channel has almost 8 million subs, 10 million views.
Into my life.
It is coming easy.
Money is the root of joy and comfort.
I'm sure there's more than money for happiness,
money
right?
And spirituality can coexist in harmony. Money and love can be friends.
Quick, everyone, check your bank accounts. Is it going up?
My servant.
Is it working?
I am the master of my life. I can handle massive success with
For everyone
grace.
listening, I began listening to this daily last year, 2020. Now in 2021, I've doubled my income. Moving into an apartment twice as big and have thousands in my savings.
Positive impacts in my life.
Alright, well now that we've manifested some money, I'm gonna go manifest a little bit of a tinkle into my toilet. Hey, hopefully you all did your positive affirmation exercises while I was away. Do we have any new millionaires in here now? Techniques to activate the second brain. It's about time. Who discovered that?
It's a very important bio battery that can be charged, can store and get energy. People are success because
those are the same channel. Jesus Christ.
Focus, so energy very scattered and you lose energy.
So where is the second brain located?
You don't get sick, do you?
No, a long time. So the Westerner discovered that intestinal.
That's where the poop lives.
The structure of intestinal is like a battery.
No, it's like a
negative,
septic
positive,
tank.
Negative, positive. Scientists, they discover the second brain. They're 100 years ago.
The second brain is where my shit goes?
They don't know what to do. But now they just...
No wonder I'm having such a hard time activating it.
The small intestine, the large intestine, they cover them. And they dilate them. Now I understand that, this is what the Tao
it's
about.
Close enough, I guess.
The center of
he's getting in there. The second brain hides in the intestines.
In the center of the navel. Warm, and this also a battery can store energy.
So is it better to have it surrounded by poop?
So all what we do now.
Do I need to like
people now is
get addicted to laxatives or what?
Okay. Because the battery, now you have to find balance. Some of them is too extreme.
This is supposed to be a technique to activate my second brain.
Hate people, and
I haven't learned any techniques.
And your neck go like this.
I'm exhaling. Whoops.
And now when you exhale, you curve down. So you curve everything down. Inhale. Exhale. Curve enough that
I can see through walls now.
So we have breathing in golden light into your spine and your brain, and exhale cloudy and gray color out.
Fuck, all right.
Sometimes
I've ascended.
Let go all the
Jesus, this is still.
down to the ground.
It's still as fucking 6 minutes.
You rub your hand warm.
Was I levitating? Did you guys see me like lifting off my chair? I felt like I was really starting to get up. You disappeared there for a minute.
Okay, the energy is
This is people encouraging each other. It has nothing to do with the videos. Fear in the kidneys is like an eye-opener because when some people are afraid, they will pee themselves. This makes so much sense. Also, when I'm nervous, I feel sick. Notice how he said inhale and a golden light enters your brain and spine, and exhale and a dark cloud and smoke leaves your body. Truly a wise master. He knows visualization and breathing are the key. Wow. Yeah, that was an eye-opener. Well, my second brain is firing now. Yeah, needless to say, these exercises were extremely effective. I've now been using 2 brains, which makes me just about twice as smart as your average middle schooler. I have been going fucking wild with my newfound superpowers. My X-Men genes have awakened, and I am now above the normal mortal coil. I am above you mere humans, thanks to these inspirational experts who have given me all of the information and tools I'd need to clear the poop out of my second brain to keep it clear and functioning appropriately and keeping the battery charged. But this is the exact shit I'm talking about. It's actual worthlessness. I'm sure being told that you're special and things are gonna go great helps somebody, but when you're trying to market it as like a real thing, or even worse, this isn't too bad since the videos are free, but if you're trying to market like a program that's just this shit, I think it's truly just kind of evil to prey on people's vulnerabilities and wanting them to believe that by listening to your shit or constantly buying your products, it'll help them be more successful, when you know that it's not, because it's just absolute nonsense like this. Listening to these endless, like, brainwashing seminars is never going to allow you to conjure money magically. You're not going to be some kind of finance bender like in the Avatar universe or something with money instead of an element. It just isn't going to happen. It's just really, to me, very silly and evil, again. So I just wanted to talk about it a little bit since I recently found this whole community that does videos like this. Not all of them sell things associated with, a lot of them are just these really long videos that are just constant affirmations and just repeating of cliches. And like I said, I'm sure that does help some people like maintain a positive outlook, and that's fine. But overall, I just find the entire thing to just be a little scummy. So I just wanted to talk about it just a bit, and that's it. So yeah. Throughout my entire academic career, I got consistently decent grades because I did the bare minimum of just turning in assignments when they were due. But of course, I'd occasionally slip up, you know, I'm human, everyone makes mistakes. And in those situations, I always did what every cornered animal does. I lashed out, I showed my teeth, and I threw the Hail Mary. So I'd always try and weasel my way out or buy extra time through a little white lie, coming up with an excuse. I'd always try the classics like, "Hey professor, I'm sorry, my report's not ready today, I'm gonna need a little extra time. Last night, I found my brother lying face down in a pool of his own vomit. As you know, he struggles with alcoholism, and he was about to meet his maker, so I had to improvise a saline drip solution in order to save his life, and things just got away from me, and I ran out of time." You know, I just try it because why not? There's no reason not to at least try and come up with an excuse to get a little extra time out of the assignment. But you know what there's never an excuse for? Drunk driving. Yeah, you bet your sweet bippy all of that was to say, I have no fucking respect for drunk drivers at all. I think it's inexcusable, I think it's unforgivable. Like, there's just never any justification for driving drunk. Especially not in today's world, where there's like Uber, Lyft, there's like 1,000 ways of just getting a ride home. Like, Jesus Christ, you could probably find someone on Craigslist that's giving piggyback rides out for 10 bucks. Like, there is just always a better way that doesn't involve driving drunk. And the reason I'm talking about that today is because a TikTok star named Amanda Caravala just lost her whole influencer career because a very embarrassing video has now hit the internet of her DUI that she received last year. It's fucking rough. I just saw a lot of people talking about it. I don't know the TikTok star, but it's apparently a pretty goofy video. So I wanted to at least see a little bit about it. It's nothing crazy. Okay, I'm still gonna give it a chance. This intro is going so hard for no reason. Makes me feel like I'm watching Miami Vice. What seems to be the problem, officer? How long are we just gonna stay? I mean, I think we can safely assume she's sleeping here. Maybe knock on the window. Are we timing her? Yeah, it looks like everything's okay here. Oh my god, wait, there's more police officers. Oh, you can't see it. Behind my webcam. There's more police officers right here. Man, this whole block was popping off here. Damn. Everyone's catching the heat out here. I think we can establish that this is no condition to be driving in. She's missed a full cycle already. They might run if he wakes her up. That's a really good point that I didn't think about. That was actually a good point. So what's the proper protocol here? Slash her tires so she can't? Like, we're gonna have to wake her up eventually. We can't just let her sleep here all night. Oh. I see, so that was the play.
Whoa. Wake up! Put it in park!
Put the car in park!
Put
Damn.
the car in park!
She's like a zombie.
Police department, put the car in park!
Holy shit.
Wake up!
What is happening in there? This reminds me of the scene from the Resident Evil movie where there's that guy who says, "Don't open the door," right before he gets like his head blown off.
Come park over here.
Yeah, Amanda's having a real tough time here staying in this corporeal realm. Every time she starts dozing off, her jaw just falls to the floor like a Dementor about to suck out some happiness. It is like actually kind of disturbing to look at. I've been super drunk, like turbo intoxicated, and I can't recall any videos of me ever looking like that. Like, that is a different level where like your jaw muscles stop responding to you. So this could be more than just alcohol. Of course, I'm not there testing her blood or going over toxicology reports. I'm just speculating as a pea-brained fucking idiot observer over here. It just looks really weird that her jaw is doing its absolute best to escape her face. She starts looking like the monster from the Amnesia game. Man, this is rough. Holy shit, how long do we stay in this standoff?
Would you mind opening the door for me?
Break the window? I'm surprised they haven't. Hey, there we go.
Excellent. There we go.
Oh, hello.
Police department.
Hey, what's going on?
Take your seatbelt off.
How fast was I going?
Know where you're at?
They're both, yeah, checking out for seats. I think you guys are like, shit, you know what I'm saying?
What?
Relax for a second.
What happened?
Do you know where you're at?
Yeah?
Where?
At the decision.
At the what?
I don't know, man.
At the what?
At the decision that.
Go step over here. Hey, we're gonna go over here. Go over.
At the what? What did you? The Abin Simon? Holy shit! Damn, she is fucked up.
A bunch of cop cars.
Nice, astute observation.
Alright, come over here. Hello.
Maybe she's sober.
What's your name?
Amanda.
Amanda, what's going on tonight?
He's talking to her like a dog.
Cop car.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Me?
Yes. How much have you had to drink tonight? How much have you had to drink tonight?
Nothing.
Be honest.
What time is it?
3 o'clock.
Okay, 3 o'clock.
Yeah, how much have you had to drink?
3 o'clock. I've had 3 o'clock to drink tonight.
Okay. Alright, so my next question to you... Alright, man.
Can't argue with that, to be fair. That was a pretty good checkmate.
Anything medically wrong with you? Are you diabetic?
How am I supposed to track your finger with just my eyes when my kids' cars are moving over here?
Okay. Alright, so
Kids' cars?
Okay.
Do you want to face this way?
Yeah,
What is she seeing? My kids' cars? This is like in Looney Tunes where when someone gets hit with a mallet over their head, they're seeing like stars and little Tweety birds flying around in circles. This is... What the fuck? Yeah, this is like beyond faded. No, I'm sorry for the mistake, ma'am. Please, continue on your way. Seems we were wrong.
No shit!
Oh boy.
No shit!
Now we've reached that stage of being drunk where it's just loud and angry. Well, she either got banned or doesn't have an account on here anymore. Now, Amanda Caravala wasn't like a super duper TikTok star, but she had almost 2 billion views on the platform before, I'm assuming, being removed from it, or maybe she got laughed off the platform once this video was released. I'm really not sure on the timeline there. But if you want a little more information on the case, this video is actually from 2021, and she pled guilty and was sentenced to 12 months probation and 6 days of community service, and then paid about $2,000 in fines. So overall, she got off pretty easy. Even though she wasn't involved in an accident or there were no victims, at least not that we know of, I still think that this is light sentencing, but of course it could be my own bias because of how much I despise the act of drunk driving. It's needlessly dangerous and endangers not only the driver's life, but anyone in their car and anyone in any car around them. It's fucking ridiculous. So she got off super easy. Like, I mean, goddamn. When they asked her how much she had to drink, her reply was 3 o'clock. She's had 3 o'clock to drink. Do you know how much that is? If you convert that into fluid ounces, That's like 5,000 beers. Like, that is an incredible amount of alcohol she's consumed. Like, her BAC must have been like a 10.0. Oh yeah, I also didn't show it in the video here, but I'll just explain it to you. Towards the end of her arrest, she kept asking for someone named Mike Davis to show up to the scene, as if she was like trying to summon Batman. Like, she repeatedly asks for some vigilante named Mike Davis, who apparently works for that police department. And that got a big giggle out of me, because I love to imagine, like, Mike Davis hears his name being called somewhere, and he hops in his car and his cruiser, turns on the siren, scoots in sideways, and gets out like an action movie hero and says, "All right, boys, I've got it from here. You're safe now, Amanda." Like, I just have to imagine, like, she must have known of someone loosely in the police department and just tried her best to, like, get out of this by dropping his name, to no avail, still getting arrested. And then she makes a huge hoopla in the car on the way there. But yeah, I just wanted to show this because I think this is an instructive moment on how your entire online career can be undone with one horrible decision. And not only that, a decision like drunk driving could just straight up end your life. One bad decision like that could just straight up fucking kill you. That's not an exaggeration. That shit happens all the time. Fuck drunk driving. Don't do it. A little PSA. That's about it. See ya. I don't understand what's going on in the world right now, because there is a cheating scandal in every single sport, every game, every hobby in the entire world, all happening at once. This is like something out of the Bible to signal a doomsday or an apocalypse. Today we're going to be talking about a Call of Duty cheating scandal, but not so much the cheating itself, more so how one YouTuber took a huge L trying to suckle a drop of clout out of the situation by posting an embarrassing video about it. I'm not a huge fan of Call of Duty. I haven't been a fan of Call of Duty in a while, but I am a big fan of clowns. And yesterday these two worlds collided when Doug Censor Martin made his exposed video on Nadia, a person who's been accused of cheating for a while now. Doug kind of hyped himself up as the authority to bring down judgment once and for all and bring the truth to light. He dusted off the monocle and got to the bottom of this case like Scooby-Doo and the gang to solve the mystery here. But unfortunately, he posted turbo cringe on main, and as a result, the entire community's been dunking on him and he's caught more shit than a latrine. It would have been less reputationally damaging if he posted his own sex tape on his channel. Would have been a lot less embarrassing. Now let me just go ahead and break down the situation here to bring you all up to speed, since I'm sure a lot of you don't know exactly what I'm talking about. Right now, there is a massive Call of Duty streamer named Nadia. She mainly plays Warzone, Rebirth Island, and she's massive. And she's had a ton of cheating allegations against her for quite a long time now. A lot of people analyzing and going over very suspicious and odd moments from her streams, as well as some peculiar things that have popped up in terms of like aim locking and tracking and shit like that. As well as recently she went to a LAN tournament and didn't perform super well. She went like 4-15 in one of the bigger matches. So people were confused on why she plays so well at home, where she's dropping like 50 bombs and absolutely spanking people, versus on LAN where she goes and just doesn't do super well. So there's just been a lot of videos breaking down and analyzing suspicious moments from her streams and explaining that there's a chance she's cheating, though nothing's 100% proven as of right now. But it is a very peculiar situation, one that I'm not super familiar with, so one that I'm not going to opine on heavily, but that's the gist of it in a nutshell. And Doug Censor Martin stepped into the spotlight to try and be the authority on whether or not she truly is cheating. And this backfired on him terribly. So yeah, I'm not really here to talk too much about the possible cheating itself. I'm just here to laugh at this awful video Doug made. Even if it's confirmed Nadia's cheating, like right now, if she goes live and just admits, "I'm a cheater, here's the proof," I would still say Doug Censor Martin took the bigger L in this situation. Also, he really hyped the shit out of this for days, like on Twitter and everything, making very bold posts about the impact this video is going to have and how he was taking it so seriously and researching it thoroughly. And man, that aged terribly. Right away you can tell the vibe he's going for is douchey, over-the-top goofiness here, but it conflicts with the tone he set prior to its release, talking about how seriously he was taking it in the investigation that he was conducting, only to release this little circus video So immediately people were pretty turned off just from the intro alone.
Detective, what are you smoking?
That Nadia pack.
Wait, isn't that your $1 million Armani suit?
Just buy another one.
Behold, the comedic stylings of Doug. I bet you have to pick yourself up off the floor after laughing so hard and falling out of your chair. But that's a side-splitting humor you can expect to find from Doug here. No doubt this man's going places. He's probably going to start writing jokes for Amy Schumer next. I mean, this is just good stuff. This bit drags on for a very long time here, and I have no doubt that it's this long just for the sake of padding the video length, because the video is 8 minutes and 3 seconds, so I feel like he just front-loaded it with this trash in the intro to make sure that it breaches 8 minutes for the mid-roll ads, because I have no other explanation for why it goes on for as long as it does. I'll spare you the next like 45 seconds of this shit and just get to the part where he starts talking, but I do want to at least mention that last night I was talking about this on stream and Doug was watching and he took it like a champ, so good on you, Doug, for being able to roll with criticism, but this is a video that should have just stayed as a bad idea in your head. You should have never posted it.
98! Ugh! Ugh!
Yo, what's going on, guys? Doug Sensor Martin here. Hope you guys are having a great day.
This is really a masterclass in how to make people dislike you within the first minute of a video. He just speedran unlikability. I really love the thought process behind this video here. I'll just crank out some pull-ups before getting into it. That'll make them think I'm cool. Flex on them a little bit. Hey, what's up, nerds? It's me, Doug. What, did I forget to give you a wedgie today? No, I'm just kidding. I'm the likable douchebag who plays video games. You know, what a Sigma male.
And today I bring you guys a brand new video giving you all the truth about Nadia. So if you guys don't know who Nadia is, she's a 22-year-old Warzone player. She streams every single day on Twitch TV. So I've been putting in about 8 to 10 hour days, 7 days a week to Vanguard rank to be the #1 ranked player on the planet. And with that comes the sacrifice. And sometimes, like I said, you lose your mind. Sometimes you play against cheaters and they really are inevitable. There's not really too much you can do about it.
The first minute and a half is just actual nothing burgers. This man is a restaurant that's serving up buns and nothing inside of it. It is absolute worthlessness. It's him patting his ego for a bit, I guess giving like a background on himself. He's like, oh, you know, at first I looked at Nadia, I wasn't suspicious, but then everyone else was, so now I'm suspicious. And here's my resume. And then he talks about how he spends so much time grinding Call of Duty Vanguard ranked, which sounds like a fate worse than death. And then he finally starts getting into something that's even remotely related to the topic.
This girl really got people hooked. So I'm clicking the video and I'm watching it and they're slowing everything down in slow motion. They're showing our aim drags from one person to another. They're showing a bunch of these different clips of these characters moving like magnets and their aim snaps on them. And just being a guy who's been around competitive Call of Duty for as long as I have and seeing as many things that I've seen, this is no news to me. I've seen stuff like this so many times before. And my brain just started to think and I'm like, let me look a little bit more into Nadia.
We are 4 minutes and 33 seconds into this video and he has still done absolutely fucking nothing. Silence would have been more productive than everything he's said so far. If he had spread his own asshole like Goatsy for 4 minutes and 33 seconds, I feel like I would have got more information out of that than what I've watched so far. We are over halfway done with the video and he has done and said nothing.
I thought acting was my passion, but now it's really gaming. I do love acting, but gaming is where I'm at right now.
So when she said this live, I was actually in my hot tub watching because I'm friends with Jake and I like him. Let me watch this interview. Let me see who this girl is and what she's all about. And when I saw that and I heard that, everything really started to click to me.
This is his first of only 3 loose points. I can't even call them actual points because he doesn't even make any arguments against Nadia or to prove she's cheating, because this, what he's showing, everything he shows here isn't evidence. He just pulls up random TikTok clips of her talking about acting. He doesn't even go into like the actual cheating allegations. He just talks about her being bad at acting for some reason. Like that's what he like focuses on. That's the smoking gun. Ah, so she's bad at acting. Probably a cheater as well then. I was super let down by this video, as I'm sure everyone else was, because he had put so much hype behind it, talking about how thorough and how serious this video was going to be. And I'm a little goblin that's drawn to internet drama like a moth to a flame, so I was finally going to get caught up to speed on some fresh drama that I wasn't super familiar with, and I thought Doug would be the one to deliver all of the information as well as pretty impressive evidence on a video. But he didn't do any of that. Instead, he released this stinker and then has claimed it was all just an elaborate troll, which to me just sounds like desperation and cope. Like, no, this video actually was a troll from the start. But even if that is the case, it's still poorly done. It's still bad. The video itself isn't entertaining, even as like a satirical piece or a joke. It's just not good, no matter how you spin it.
It's simple. I just hack into the Call of Duty servers, so there's a playlist that gets me only low KD lobbies. Rebirth QA bot, turn me up, chat.
Turn me up, turn me up. Oh my God, turn me up. You clearly tell this is some bad acting, and not for nothing. This whole turn me up, turn me up. Can we please? I don't care who started this. I don't care. Can we leave this in 2022? Just somebody come up with something new and creative. Anything. But the whole turn me up, yeah.
This buffoon's over here mauling over 3 words. It's not that deep. It's not a big deal. And also, what does it have to do with anything about the cheating accusations you're supposed to be tackling? So Nadia really leans into all the cheating stuff and treats it like a meme and a joke. So she'll be very sarcastic with it, talk about how she's like cheating sarcastically and shit like that. And Doug is critiquing her acting about it and being upset that she says, turn me up. I just don't even get what he's trying to say here. Maybe it's too galaxy brain for me to comprehend. I just can't wrap my little reptile brain around it. It just seems like he finds her annoying, so he's just calling her annoying like a child would.
You could go down a rabbit hole just searching this girl's name, but there's one thing that really stands out.
I played Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2.
Hey, you don't need to hug me. I get
So
it.
dolphin.
Chat, what is dolphin diving? Like, how do I do it?
Okay, so Nadia, check this out. I know you work out and you're in good shape. This is how you do the dolphin dive.
Ow, fuck.
All jokes aside, this video is about showing the truth of Nadia.
All jokes aside, what jokes? All 0 of them that you've told so far? This is so embarrassing, Doug. The fact that you not only made this, but you edited it and posted it shamelessly and hyped it up. You could have at least made a point out of this, like, Nadia claims she's very familiar with Call of Duty and Black Ops in particular. How would she be unfamiliar with the term dolphin diving? That was a very standard term used in Black Ops by everyone. It'd be very surprising if she'd never heard of dolphin diving despite playing so much Black Ops. But you didn't even begin to, like, broach that subject. Instead, you took this and made an absolute nothing sandwich out of it again. Like, I just don't understand the motivation behind this video, like what the purpose was, other than to just siphon a few views out of the topic. Because everyone is talking about this Nadia cheating allegation situation, and perhaps Doug felt a little left outside, alone, cold in the rain, and he said, hey guys, I want to come inside where it's warm and get in on this view party as well. So then he threw this piece of shit together.
All jokes aside, this video is about showing the truth of Nadia, and somehow the internet over the last few days has really turned this and conforted this into me exposing Nadia for her cheats and having clear-cut evidence of her cheats. So I do want to clarify this really quickly. My buddy made a program to catch Vanguard cheaters on the rank play system. I've made that very clear. I've also told Nadia publicly multiple times that I don't care about her. My video is going to be unbiased. I don't need her. I'm not looking for clout. I'm not looking for money. Don't need any of that stuff.
This man just spit out more garbage than a landfill. I don't even know where to start. We'll just go from the beginning. He starts blaming the internet as if people got it all twisted and got it fucked up. Oh, you've misconstrued it. You know, the internet's bastardized and perverted my point. They think that I had evidence against Nadia and this and that. I don't even know where they got the idea from. Doug, they got it from you. For days you were talking about how you have all of this proof of cheaters and cheaters are a bad thing and insinuating that you've got stuff on Nadia. And like, you put that idea in everyone's head. They got that information and that idea directly from your mouth. So I don't know why you're trying to spin it like, oh, you guys, you went wild with these crazy ideas, none of which I influenced at all. I didn't do any of that. You guys are just weird to think that I had this evidence or any real proof against Nadia. Like, it blows my mind. That you've tried to now blame people for getting it wrong because you have absolutely nothing. He then shouts out his friend's anti-cheating program, which he mentioned a few times in the beginning of the video, but I felt it was completely irrelevant to the topic, which was proving Nadia was cheating or talking about it or submitting evidence, none of which he does and none of which his friend's program helped with or did anything with. So it has no purpose in the video other than like a hashtag ad, I suppose. I don't really know. And then he goes into the biggest lie I've heard in a minute. This is a straight cap from top to bottom. How he's not doing this for clout or attention or anything. That's all this was. Oh, here, I'll make this weird fucking video. Like, you did all of this for clout, 100%. There's no other motivation here. I guess you can fall back on the defense mechanism of calling it a troll, but even still, it's done poorly. So if the goal was to troll people, you did it at the expense of your own reputation and the goodwill from the community that you still had left over. So the joke at the end of the day is on you. So the real only purpose to the video was just views, which you got because this is more viewed than your recent uploads, but I just don't see why you do it when it comes at such a high price to your image. There's really nothing in this video. This video is like 99% you just working out or flexing and talking about nothing. You don't even really mention Nadia's cheating allegations or provide any evidence. You provide legitimately no evidence. You don't make any points. You just don't talk about anything in the video. There's just nothing of substance here. So there's only one conclusion to draw. That you did this whole song and dance, you made this video for clout.
It all just became clear.
I can't play the music from here because of DMCA, but he concludes the video by parking his jet ski, walking up on the dock, and pretending to propose to Nadia. It is so fucking embarrassing. Everyone with eyes was sad to see this. It is painful to look at. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about this a bit because Doug just really made a complete fool out of himself. That's about it. So yeah.
This video is made possible by Dashlane. Download Dashlane for free if you never want to lose another password again at the link in the description. Tokyo, December 10th, 1968. It was pouring rain.
Not really ripping it off, Mickey, I don't think. Just inspired by.
Was on edge. Someone had threatened his life and those around him over the past few months. Just 4 days prior, a letter, one of recent many, was sent to his personal residence demanding 300 million yen or his house would be blown up with dynamite.
Holy shit.
The letter was made up of characters cut out
some
and
Looney Tunes shit
from movie magazines. Police were notified, and indeed they kept a close eye on the bank and his home, though this did not ease the mind of the bank manager, who shared his concerns with his branch employees. Now, of course, this is Japan, and work is work. The show must go on. With this in mind, the bank manager went on with his duties, sending 4 of his employees to the nearby Toshiba factory to make a scheduled drop. So off they went, taking the company car. But not long after leaving the bank, the 4 heard police sirens approaching. At that very moment, they happened to be next to a prison of all places. A police officer screeched to a halt in front of the car and frantically got off his motorcycle to warn them. The branch manager's home had just been blown up. People were injured.
Wait,
some
really?
Presumably worse. Despite police monitoring the locations, the perpetrator was still able to carry out.
Wait, so he actually successfully blew this shit up?
Additional threats were made. The bank in particular was now a target, and branch employees were at risk, especially those who had left the bank earlier to carry out bank duties.
Why do you keep spamming Jim Browning? I'm literally in the middle of watching something. What the fuck is wrong with you?
The officer got down underneath to check the car, but before he could do a proper search, an employee started noticing smoke and flames emerging from the vehicle. Fearing the car was about to explode, the officer desperately tried to roll out of the way. Everyone ran as fast as they could to safety, retreating behind the prison walls. They waited and waited for the explosion, but there was no explosion. They looked back.
Oh, so they were fooled.
The company car was gone. The police officer was gone. Had he moved the car to safety? Confused, they called the Nihon Trust Bank to find out what was going on. To their relief, the bank manager answered. He was alive and well. In fact, everything was fine there. The bank manager's home was never blown up. As the adrenaline wore off, it finally dawned on them what had happened. This was the moment the perpetrator had been setting up the past few months. Disguised as a police officer, he had now gotten away with what was to be the bonus payments of 523 Toshiba employees. The stolen amount totaled to 300 million yen or $6 million.
Not
Exactly the
bad.
amount he had asked for. On the ground, they found various items left behind, including a warning flare that the officer must have ignited while under the car to mimic dynamite. A reported 120 pieces of evidence was left behind at the crime scene, which is a lot and would normally be beneficial, but this was purposely done to mislead.
Whoa!
This worked.
What the
Half a
fuck? This is
century later,
nuts.
The case remains unsolved. Some say
Turns
this
out he
was the
trimmed his
greatest
pubic
heist
hair to live
in
DNA,
Japanese
but it
history.
wasn't his
There was
pubic
no
hair.
loss of life, no blood
A red
spilled.
herring.
The plan meticulously carried out by a single person, and in the end, the money taken. But there are many ways a bank heist can be great. There are many ways it can be notable. Take the case on May 15th, 2016. At around 5 a.m. in the early hours,
Oh,
cash
right,
was
Phoenix Jones, I
physically
forgot to do
withdrawn
that.
from an ATM
I like Phoenix
from
Jones.
a Tokyo 7-Eleven. The amount was 100,000 yen, about $880, which was the cash limit. Now, this doesn't seem too bad, but try repeating this 14,000 times across Japan in the span of just 2 hours, because that is exactly what happened. In total, 1.4 billion yen, about $13 million, was taken from ATMs alone. And this wasn't done electronically.
What?
It was done in person. Sure, it had to be some sort of a large, coordinated group, but the staggering number of transactions in a 2-hour frame made even this seem questionable. Compared to other notable cases, the largest known recorded number of participants to have been
How in
involved
the
in a
fuck?
single heist wouldn't have been able to pull this off either, unless they had superpowers. Involving an even larger team would presumably be unwise, as there'd be too many chefs in the kitchen. Now, after police completed their painstaking
Jesus
process
Christ.
of checking security footage of each 7-Eleven store, and yeah, it was only 7-Eleven's hit, they found their answer. In this particular case, the more chefs the better. It wasn't a team of 50 or 100 or even 200. It was 600 people. 600 people pulling off a sophisticated, highly coordinated heist using fake credit cards. Quite the contrast from the single perpetrator
Thanks to
of our
Prime,
first heist.
Toto,
Not
and Rusub
surprisingly,
Kaze.
most people have surmised with this many active participants, there must have been links to a large crime organization. But as of today, despite the numbers, no one of note has been caught. Now, here's a quick one. Kobe, August 7th, 1990.
How in the fuck can you not catch a single person in that if you knew exactly what places they were hitting with security cameras? How does that happen?
The story so unique is
How do you
that
fuck
10
that up?
days after the heist, the bank, still reeling from the events, received a note from the robbers. The note read, "Thank you very much for the bonus. We can now live on this loot for the rest of our lives." It was a sincere message of gratitude. Yeah, we all know the reputation Japanese people have for being polite, but this took it to another level. So the last 3 cases involved plans being executed perfectly
He's the prime
with
writer.
no loss of life. But not the case with the next one. We're going way back. January 26,
Thanks to Resub
1948.
Brendan.
Again in Tokyo, a man in his 40s walked into a branch of the Imperial Bank just before closing time. 16 people were inside, including customers and bank workers. He got everyone's attention and explained he was a government health inspector sent by the US occupation authorities. Remember, this was post-war Tokyo, still under US occupation. The man stated there was a sudden
These are some
outbreak
Frosty
of
Nips.
dysentery in the area, and he was to
Ooh,
carry
Oregon
out
Trail.
inoculations. In post-war Tokyo, the disease was a legitimate threat, so no one really doubted him. Add to the fact that the man was wearing an official government armband. He gave all 16 people a pill and a few drops of liquid, which they quickly drank. Now, it wasn't long until they fell, one by one, in agony.
Oh,
With
fuck.
everyone incapacitated, the so-called health inspector grabbed all the money he could find and calmly left. 12 of the 16 people would later be confirmed dead, including a young child. The solution they drank was a cyanide solution.
Holy
This was a
shit.
ruthless way to go about a heist. But what made this even more strange was that the man left behind a business card. He left it at the scene. The card was marked with the name Shigeru Matsui, apparently from the Department of Disease Prevention, which does make sense since he was pretending to be a health official. But Shigeru Matsui turned out to be a real person who actually worked for the Department of Disease Prevention. Not surprisingly,
He killed him and
upon
took the
investigation,
shit?
Matsui was cleared. He was not the robber. He had several alibis. But he told police he had exchanged business cards with 593 individuals.
How would he know that
Japanese
number?
people have the habit of exchanging business cards with personal details, so this was helpful. as
Oh, I
police
guess you could
now
just
had
look at every business card.
593 suspects. Over time, they were able to whittle down this number to just 8 cards, 8 suspects, one of which was a man named Sadamichi Hirasawa, a Japanese painter. When Hirasawa was questioned and asked to produce the card of Shigeru Matsui's, which he should have had, he could not. He claimed it must have been in his wallet, which was stolen the other day. He was a victim of pickpocketing. Police had a feeling they knew exactly where the card was.
He could have just lost the card. I don't keep business cards.
When police looked into his history, they found 4 previous cases of bank fraud. When they searched his possession, they found a similar amount of money to that stolen from the bank. Hirasawa suspiciously refused to divulge how he got this money. Finally, when his face was shown to eyewitnesses, they immediately identified him as the poisoner. Upon further interrogation,
that was easy.
Hirasawa
Good work.
confessed. He was arrested for the robbery and the murders, and in 1950, he was given the death penalty. He was sent to death row to await execution by hanging. Case closed. Or is it? Because after the trial, some had doubts whether Sadamichi Hirasawa was indeed the perpetrator. Everything mentioned, circumstantial. In fact, it was revealed his confession was viciously beaten out of him.
Thanks to Tier 1 Supreme in the Prime
There was
Yoni.
only 2 of the
Resub.
eyewitnesses who
Demon.
identified him as the criminal. Perhaps he was telling the truth. Perhaps he was really a victim of pickpocketing, as he claimed. The unexplained origin of the money in his possession was also thought by some to be from his side business of drawing pornographic pictures. Revealing this truth to police and to the public would have been detrimental to his reputation as an artist. There was also no way
So he was a
Hirasawa could
hentai artist?
realistically obtain the ingredients for what turned out to be a military-grade cyanide solution used in the robbery. Interestingly, some have claimed that the true culprit was actually a former member of the notorious Unit 731, a covert biological and chemical warfare research and development unit of the Imperial Japanese Army that undertook lethal human experimentation during wartime. If so, this would explain the accessibility to the poison. The Minister of Justice himself doubted Hirasawa's guilt, and so never signed the death warrant. This opinion was shared by successive ministers of justice, so the death sentence was never actually carried out. And so Hirasawa sat in prison on death row for the next 32 years of his life, one of the longest tenures ever on death row. And on May 10th, 1987, he caught pneumonia and died in a prison hospital. Despite the verdict, the case was never truly put to rest, and many people felt that the true culprit, all those years ago, would have been within grasp if only the focus was on the right person. This brutality
It does seem very odd that a painter would come up with that.
A new type of heist. January 25th, 2000.
That seems extremely hardcore.
Cybercrime. The Tokyo-based exchange Coincheck, one of the most prominent virtual currency exchanges in Asia, was the
Prime, just Kier
the
and
biggest
resub sauce.
cryptocurrency heist in history.
What do you mean, water?
At 2:57 a.m., using overseas servers, hackers, disguising themselves as authorized users, were able to enter the system. They remained undetected for the next 8.5 hours, stealing 58 billion yen worth of the cryptocurrency NEM, which is about $530 million. Then they were gone. This incident became an embarrassment to the Japanese government, who had been trying to make Tokyo the global center for cryptocurrency. Coincheck revealed they failed to implement the required extra layer of security, but even worse, the stolen currency had been kept online in a hot wallet, rather than in a much more secure offline storage facility known as a cold wallet. This is similar to if a convenience store kept significantly large amounts in a cash register, instead of an off-premise bank vault. Now, one of the stranger aspects of the heist is that the stolen virtual funds were able to be traced online, because transactions for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies are all public. And so the $530 million worth was eventually traced back to 11 specific addresses. But the identities of those sending and receiving the money, unfortunately, remained anonymous. Indeed, no one yet has been caught, but the developers of NEM were able to label the 11 addresses with specific warning tags for all to see. They also set up a tracking tool to automatically reject exchanges involving the stolen funds. Of course, the most frustrating part of this is that it all easily could have been avoided if Coincheck just added that extra layer of security. And really, it's not just big companies. Most people today are
I imagine they'd already cashed it out like that same day.
Same password for every account
they
have.
couldn't have.
Now, if this is you, congratulations. You have bad habits just like me, but that's okay. I'm segueing here because Dashlane makes keeping track of all your passwords.
I see why you saved that one for last.
I just said thank you 50,000 times. Don't believe me? Why don't you play that back at 0.00001 speed? Thank you truly though for 50k subs. It's pretty awesome.
That's big. Congrats, Gunner.
Against the entire population of Atlantic City, New Jersey.
Gunner's
they had that
killing
one
it.
But content houses, the lucrative business model of the 21st century that promises aspiring teenage influencers fame and success with just one trade-off. You have to live in a giant fucking mansion and make TikToks. At least that's what it looks like on the surface. Silly spoiled children and your silly spoiled dreams. However, this shady business goes deeper than one might expect, with the same industry players causing problems time and time again for everyone involved, often ending in a house's ultimate demise. Today we're answering the question, why do all content houses fail? Or at least most of them. I wasn't going to get your attention by titling the video, why do 98% of content houses
fail? They all
fail,
fail though. I can't think of any that
back
happened.
off. Just, not off the video. Keep watching.
In the world of social media.
I'm going to speculate before Gunner gives us this scientific explanation. I think the reason the content houses fail is because the influencers living there eventually just get tired of being around each other and move out, and it fizzles out. A slow bleed. The Sidemen survived? Yeah, true. Okay, fair. But that's more of like a content group, not just like a central content house, I would argue. I'd say Sidemen transcend just a house. Same with OTK. Again, OTK is more than just a house. They are like a full group. Like, I wouldn't ever say those are content houses. They're just content teams. When I think of content house, I think of like Hype House, Team... Was it Team 7? Or was that the group that made Worms? What was Jake Paul's group called? Team what? Team what? Team 10. Yeah. Team 10. Cloud House. What was that really fucking stinky TikTok one that wasn't the Hype House? It was the other one. That was like the Bryce Hall group or some shit. What were they? They had like a whole reality show. Sway? Was it Sway House? I don't remember. But yeah, I think the reason all that shit fails is just egos clashing and they eventually just get tired of being around each other.
Say I'm an asshole. Basically are saying take it until, you know, a tragedy happens, which is going to happen here.
Well, that guy was wrong. Still no tragedies. Except for the fact that they still exist, I guess.
A little trailer action? I've never done that one before. I'm personally fired up. And me right now, I haven't even made the video yet. I hope Future Gunner delivers on that shit.
Fucking try, man.
The idea of content houses is nothing new. Just look at Team 10, Hype House, Sway House, Clubhouse. The Sway House, unfortunately, launched and still tries to sell Sway pre-workout products as if the house is still running. Boys, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think people are going to buy from a brand that's based on you guys living together when you guys don't live together. Also, your fan base are little girls.
They're definitely still buying.
Energy bars, sheesh. With that said, let's meet Tyler Pauly.
Tyler, thank you for coming today. It's an honor to have you. Oh my God, who put that there? How did that? I'm so sorry.
I don't see anyone else here.
It wasn't me. That's really embarrassing. I hope we can get.
Don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel embarrassed.
He looks like Machine Gun Kelly.
We'll move forward.
But like,
bump in the road.
You were one of the founding members.
You know, the parties, the trash, the neighbors. I left before that. Way before that.
Also, real quick, question in the chat. I noticed this tattoo on a bunch of dudes these days. I actually think it's a pretty cool tattoo, but what does it mean? Why do so many dudes get this forearm tattoo that's just like a dark tree? What is it? Where did that come from? I first started noticing it like 5 years ago, and it's still getting just more and more popular. Cock veins, I guess? Veiny cock. Cock vein. Well, like... So it started because of cock veins? That's how it got popular? I mean, I know it's a tree and shit. Like, I'm not confused at what I'm looking at. I'm just wondering, like, why... Who made it popular? But it does look fine. Like, I actually think it's a cool design. I was just wondering.
My household raised me differently from others' households. So it's like, it's a huge equation for disaster. Because it's just a bunch of us young, reckless kids living in a nice house, doing all this cool shit.
You made it to LA,
pretty
kid.
Cool.
This is your moment. It's time to shine. Let's ruin the neighbor's day.
Jeff and his wife live directly next door and say night and day they're dealing with large gatherings, loud pool parties, and non-permitted film shoots. Cars constantly speed up and down outside their home, and their Nest Cam captures the parties spilling into the street, partygoers drinking, getting intimate, and even defecating.
The girl who squats in the street starts to pee, so that's always good.
Well, that's not defecating, that's urinating. What kind of fucking clickbait is this? The news lady said defecating. That means fucking shitting, not tinkling. I hate false advertising. Unbelievable.
As
Amber
if he's
Heard
never
showed
partied
up.
before.
True. Dropped a little
I'm
Amber
cool.
turd.
I used to
to literally 7:38 in the morning.
This could have all been avoided if they just invited that guy.
Years.
Seems like he wanted to go.
Morning, she finds used condoms outside her house.
Okay, even my empathetic party self is feeling pretty bad for the neighbors at this point. 9 consecutive nights of partying? Even people that went to both weekends of Coachella are wincing at that. But once again, you
that's a lot. That's like biblical. Like 40 days, 40 nights of rain.
Collaborative TikToks and videos as possible. So it only makes sense that the new...
I got bit by rats from their place and had to go home early to Seattle because I was gonna get rat bite fever.
Of course, the house tried to deny these claims for PR's sake, but it didn't help when one Drip Crib member uploaded a TikTok with a dead rat visible in the pool behind it.
When we visited the house, one of the young men seen in the videos came out at one point.
Hey, stunt
when
rat.
asked about the parties, said there had been none, and that, quote, we're just kids.
And I think that statement kind of says it all. They're just kids. They're really, really stupid, them. And then you also have the influencers and the content house manager that represents them. For the Hype House, this is Thomas Petro. For the Clubhouse, this was Daisy Keach. And for the Drip Crib, this was a guy named Devion Young. The sole biggest thing that can bring down a content house is having the wrong person in this position. And oh boy, is Devion Young a case study on being a bad pick.
We have a whole bunch of Karens and racist neighbors. They have threatened us with violence, which is on, you know, online. The videos are out there. They threatened.
Can I see one?
Racist comments. They verbally assaulted us and they physically assaulted us. They've even sprayed water from a water hose at us. So you guys have to do your homework before you guys believe stuff that random people say on the internet.
Right, okay, so interesting strategy here.
Take his word for it. A random person on the internet.
Flip it and blame the neighbors for being mad at you about the continuous parties and actually claim that they physically assaulted you. You know how I can tell he's lying and his neighbors didn't actually assault him is that, remember, this is what they looked like. They're all over 70. If grandpa and grandma here were to attack you, you could end their life with a single karate chop. They even...
You don't know that. Hold on a second. Let's not be selling Jeff Oken short here. That guy looks like he's seen the birth of the universe. This guy's been around the block. That man could throw some lunchbox hands, no doubt in my goddamn mind. He actually reminds me of my neighbor back when I was a kid. When I was a child, my parents had these neighbors that were fucking crazy. They always dressed in pure white, and they'd go outside in like a white mask and everything to get their mail in the mailbox, and they would only ever leave their house via taxi in the early mornings and come back at the late nights. But it was fucking cool. They looked pretty much like that guy. So that's pretty... It might even be this guy. So that's pretty nostalgic. KKK. No, it wasn't like white hoods. Like, when I say mask, I mean like a half mask. Like what people wore, like still wear out in public. That's what they would wear over their face. Like for dust or something. Because they'd sweep their driveway really often. Yeah, they're fucking wild. That's a cult. It might have been part of a cult, I couldn't tell you, but it looked pretty much just like that.
Sometimes they spray us with water.
Oh, okay. So they hosed you down with the nozzle set to light sun shower drizzle mode. Not exactly the high pressure crowd control hose I was envisioning, but okay. But yeah, no,
it's
just
pretty
call
much
them
the
racist
same, to be
and
honest.
don't show any video proof, but say the videos are definitely out there somewhere online. You know, you can do the research, you can find it. Despite Jeff here seeming quite reasonable.
And we're for them. We want them to get sponsors and make gazillions of dollars, but we're not for them doing it at everybody's expense.
So who is Devion?
What a nice
What's his
guy.
background and age? Outside of that, from what Tyler tells me, Devion was a management nightmare for the house from the very beginning.
You had mentioned before that the house was supposed to be ready at a certain date, and it just wasn't, right?
Yeah, so he was like, you need to be here by this date for the house. Me and my best friend drove in a Honda Civic, like a two-door Honda Civic, with a 5x8 U-Haul behind us, with both of our bedrooms packed into it. Across the country, last minute notice to make this happen, to be there by this date. We get there and he's like, yeah, the house isn't gonna be ready for like another month. So he slaps us in Studio City, 1 bedroom, 1 bath, 5 of us in there. And then we all shared this bathroom for an entire month.
It's never a great sign to be having major house.
And it basically stated like, you're gonna pay $2K a month to be a part of this house, and that covers your rent. And within all of that, it's gonna cover PR services, it's gonna cover for brand deals. Like, it was just supposed to be like an all-inclusive payment for...
What do you need as a TikToker for a PR service? On TikTok, you don't even have to like apologize. You just keep posting shit and people will just forget. That's like the least important position imaginable, I think. Damn, these guys just got hosed. Devion was squeezing them.
Big butt hurt.
Hear that out loud again. They all already spent $2,000 on the assumption that they were going to be getting their own rooms just to show up, have Devion take the master suite, and put the rest of them in shared rooms and closets. This is a good first example of how managers try to lock influencers into contracts with no promise of delivery.
What was the delivery on the brand deals?
Nothing.
Hey, so you weren't happy? What?
I didn't make $1 from him.
Man, what the fuck?
$8,000 or so that I sent to him for rent, down the drain. I kind of cracked down on Devion and I had a conversation with him and I was like, yo, like if you can't do a simple like task of bringing me a couple $100s worth of a brand deal in this month, I was like, I'm not going to be able to pay you rent for next month. And he literally looks at me, eye contact, he's like, I don't know what to tell you. And I was like, all right.
So put yourself in Tyler's Gucci flip-flops for a second. You rushed out to LA just to share a...
Damn. So people will literally just give money to a complete stranger like that under the pretense that they're gonna get clout. Because Devion doesn't even have like a strong following based on the pictures Gunner pulled up. Man just like said, hey, give me $2,000 a month and I'll bring you fucking Heelys, laser beams from your eyes, and you'll work with Coca-Cola. And then he just buys a mansion with it to live in for himself. Kids do. Yeah, I guess that's just like the TikTok crowd. So he was getting $2,000 a month from all 5 of them. That's not pennies.
Tyler firmly believes that Devion put the whole house together in the first place to have them help promote his music career and other
Did it work?
And not so much caring about the brand deals. Which, by the way, is totally okay. Just don't make them all sign contracts promising to be anything more than a roommate that just happens to be responsible for collecting rent. However,
let's see. Did that strategy work? So he got some money, but did he suckle from the coveted titty of clout? What was his name? Big Mansion album release party in LA. Swipe for more info. Just dropped my debut major EP prelude to my album. It's got 100,000 streams in 12 hours. Link in the bio. Okay. I'm assuming it's on like his website, iamdevion.com. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Okay, so we'll go to iamdevion. His biggest song has 500k streams. That's pretty good. It's Ice Gang. So the scamming, I guess, helped? I don't know, man. He has 8,000 monthly listeners. That's pretty good. I guess. He scammed a bunch of young TikTokers and got 8,000 listeners. Play it? No, I don't want to play it. This is the kind of guy that would absolutely try and get, like, DMCA out here.
Now, a talent agency is the head honcho. They basically manage the connections between the influencers and the brands they work with. Basically what Devion said he was going to do for the Drip Crib members. Typically, they work on an individual level with a client, but these content houses were an opportunity that simply couldn't be ignored. What if I could get all of these idiots signed underneath my agency collectively? This idea brought many new opportunistic faces to the table. Take Amir Ben Yohanan, for instance, the 48-year-old man who owned the media group behind the Clubhouse, whose apparently only known picture on the internet is this photo. The fuck? To quote Amir, he thought of TikTok as kids messing around and looked down on it. But
how did he secure all of those big TikTokers?
Were with the world, he decided he wanted to cash in on what he saw as a modern-day gold rush.
Swear to God,
he
I'm
would
not
later
Dan
have
Schneider.
allegations made against. One member claimed in response to telling him that they felt overworked, he said, "You guys are probably on your period," which is so bad. Imagine you send your 15-year-old daughter out to LA to make it big, and suddenly she's being yelled at by a 48-year-old man named Amir Ben Yohanan. Again, only picture of him that exists on the internet for not making enough content. And actually, her being upset is because she has a vagina. Look, honey, we got a schedule to stay on top of, okay? You're not overworked or overstressed. You're probably just on your menstrual cycle.
Thanks, Recep Aman.
But the content cycle stops for nobody. Now make me some goddamn TikToks. I want to start a new internet trend called the Amir Challenge, where if you unjustly upset a woman this week, I want you to look her into the eyes and say, did I really do something wrong, or is it just that time of the month again? And it should, I think, go over really well for you every time, I think. Now, while
probably a pretty effective
is
strategy,
typically
honestly.
in the business of Brittany Broski, who went
Thank
mega
you,
viral
Botez
for
sisters.
her kombucha tasting TikTok, was approached by
super
Ari,
sweet. I appreciate
allegedly
that.
DMing her, "Have you made any money?" I'll translate to malicious talent agency language. That means, how much of that shit can I take? Brittany ended up signing a contract with Ariana, and 9 months later realized that she wasn't getting paid from any of her brand deals. She would go on to say that Ari was withholding some $23,000 in fees, and that she was even squatting on her domain, BrittanyBroski.com.
What a good
one
name.
of the housemates.
Virtual squatting. Yeah, they're it's a very common thing. People snatch up domains just so that way, like, when a company or business might need it, they have to pay that person for it. So it's been around since the beginning of the .coms. I used to give some paleo. Someone squatted on the Moist Esports Twitter not long ago, if you guys remember that, and then tried to get a lot of money out of me for it, but I just didn't care enough, so I just said I'll just make a different one. And then he eventually just said, fuck, fine, sorry, I just wanted money. I'm a college student. I was like, that's fine, bro, here's $100. So now we have the official Moist Esports one.
When the house ended, the girls did this to the walls on their way out, which...
Let me take a peek. Oh, that definitely violates their NDA. That was probably like rule number 1 of the NDA. You can't say anything mean about Ari. Come on now. And who is this? That's not Ari. She doesn't look like that. Grow up.
Now, Ariana Jacob blames this article for the fall of her business and losing all 85 of her clients. She denies damn near every claim made in the article, going as far as to sue the New York Times for $6.2 million.
Damn, she sounds miserable.
Lawsuit. Your Honor, people are only upset at me because I'm a visionary. And they're probably all in the periods anyway. Amir chimed in. Ariana Jacob's Instagram bio now reads, kindness and empathy are #1. Cancel culture sucks? Rise above it. Ariana, you lost all 85 of your clients. Do you think maybe the problem might be internal? That no one stuck with you or spoke up against this article's publication? But no, just ignore that. Maybe Tucker Carlson can help you win that fight against those liberal cucks at the New York Times while you figure that one out.
She did have a lot of kindness to distribute.
So why do all content houses fail? Well, it simply comes down to poor picks of management at the house and agency level. Look, I contemplated putting a big section together with my prescriptions on the different content house models and how a manager could optimally put a house together, making it proper.
Real quick, is Tucker Carlson the guy that just made that video about dudes' testicles being tanned, making you more of a man? But it just ended up basically being porn? It is? That was him? Nice. That was fake? Was it fake? I don't know a whole lot about it. It may very well have been fake. But I saw like the trailer for it. They just had like a bunch of naked dudes tanning their nuts. There was one where I'm pretty sure the guy's legs were like over his head with his nuts towards the sun or something. It was crazy. It was real? I don't know. Again, I don't know too much about it. I just saw the like little clips.
Here's Tyler's advice on if you're looking to join a startup house.
If you get the opportunity, personally, this opportunity put me in a position to where I'm at now that I'm like very grateful for. So like, you know, don't be afraid to take the risk, but at the same time, know what you're getting yourself into, know who you're working with, realistically.
Well, Tyler, it was great to have you. Thanks for coming on, really appreciate it. I do have one more thing for you. I need you to sign this NDA. It's just your standard NDA.
What? There's nothing crazy?
Just, you know, that we can use your image and likeness.
The
you can never talk shit about me legally.
Okay.
That a man named Esteban from Mexico City can also legally snap your kneecaps if you say my name even once. Sign right there. Yep, great. That's perfect.
Hollywood, baby.
No, we'll just photocopy it.
It looks like a pretty hefty NDA. I mean, I don't really have time to look through this shit anyways.
No, yeah, of course. Influencers don't.
Huge shout out to Tyler Pauly for helping out with this video.
That was nice of him to do that, though, for sure.
That he didn't have to, so please go show him some support at Tyler Pauly on Instagram. I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Once again, for the full, much longer interview with Tyler, it'll be posted to my Patreon for all member tiers to watch. At the time of this video's release, if it's not up now, it will be very shortly. Subscribe and follow me at Gunner Klein on Instagram to apply to join my content house called The Gunner House. And no, I'm not open to changing the name.
Another banger. Good shit, Gunner. I still remember being a toddler, so easily startled, my parents playing peekaboo and I freak out. But then all of that changed when I watched the first Pokemon movie and Ash Ketchum turned to stone. I knew in that moment that I had to be better. I had to expect the unexpected. And since that day, I've never been surprised. Until today, that is. Casey Anthony announced that she's going to become an influencer. Yeah, the Casey Anthony. You know, the one that murdered her daughter? Yeah, she has come out of the shadows to become an influencer, and she made a big video about it. And I hate it. I absolutely hate it. I'm not here just to regurgitate what I feel most of you know about the Casey Anthony case. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I highly recommend watching some videos or researching it because it is one of the most deplorable miscarriages of justice since the OJ trial. It is still infuriating.
I sweat to death. Okay. Today is Saturday, March 1st, 2025. This is my first of probably many recordings.
Hopefully this is not the first of many videos, Casey. Hopefully this is the last one. Maybe the case just gets reopened spontaneously so justice can finally be served for when you killed your daughter. That'd be hopeful. Also, if you're gonna film a video, can you at least take it off of like this slant? It looks like I'm falling down like a fucking water slide trying to watch this. Got the goddamn audience with the drunk goggles on here trying to see whatever you're yapping about. Like, why would you even film a video when it's like this? All cattywampus and shit.
On a series that I'm starting. I am a legal advocate. I am a researcher. I've been in the legal field since 2011.
Really? That's a big statement. In the legal field since 2011, eh? What happened in 2011, Casey? Oh my god. It's just kind of sickening because she's just gloating about it. This is like a victory lap about how she got away with murder and now all of a sudden she's a crack shot legal advocate. I already said I wasn't just going to yap about her case directly, but I can't help it since she just kind of brought this up here. She didn't do shit! Her lawyer worked her like a goddamn flesh puppet like it was a ventriloquism act. Her lawyer is an evil mastermind who was able to convince a jury of lobotomites that they had been emotionally compromised by everything they had been hearing throughout the trial. Meanwhile, he was emotionally manipulating the jury to throw doubt in there so that way they would reach this impossible verdict. He pulled off the most outrageous Hail Mary. Casey didn't do shit. She also got very lucky that for some reason her searches weren't really used in court, such as things like foolproof suffocation methods. Casey Anthony is not some fucking Phoenix Wright level legal advocate. Her lawyer is the one that made the deal with the devil to get her acquitted on this.
And in this capacity, I feel that it's necessary if I'm going to continue to operate appropriately as a legal advocate that I start to advocate for myself.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
And also advocate for my daughter. For those of you who don't know, my name is Casey Anthony. My daughter is Kaylee Anthony. My parents are George and Cindy Anthony. This is not about them. This is not in response to anything that they have said or done. That's not to say that I'm not going to respond at some point to some of the things that they have said and done. The whole point of this is for me to begin to reintroduce myself.
Like introducing poop to a toilet. This is not the first time she's tried to reintroduce herself. She should be reintroducing herself to a prison cell for murdering her daughter. She did try and get her name back out there a few years ago with a Peacock docuseries called Casey Anthony Where the Truth Lies, I think is what it was. And it was her telling her side of things. And to me, it feels like she uses her name and infamy as a money-making tool. So now she's once again using her name and infamy as a means of having a platform online to become an influencer to make money off of her name and infamy. And what's sad, it's working and will continue to work. She has a ton of people who unironically support her, even knowing she murdered her daughter and got away with it. They don't care. That's the current climate of things. It's become very clear that no matter who it is or what they've done, as long as their name made it to a news headline or got spread around in some way, shape, or form, that person will have supporters. Fucking O.J. Simpson, before he kicked the bucket, before he met his maker, had a brief bout as an influencer. Like, it doesn't matter that she killed her daughter in the eyes of these absolute fucking troglodytes that just for some reason want to champion anybody at all.
I'm doing this both personally for me, but in a professional capacity. Moving forward, the majority of what you will see will be me speaking in a professional capacity. My goal is to continue to help give a voice to people, to give people tools and resources that they can utilize so they actually know where they can turn to. So with that, please join me on Substack.
No thanks, Casey. I think I'll pass on that. I think I'd rather join the Cock and Ball Torture Enthusiast Club than listening to you pat yourself on the back about getting acquitted of murdering your daughter.
If you have questions, I will set up an email address where we can correspond directly. Up until this point, that has never happened. And it's only going to be on a limited basis regarding legal issues, legal matters.
Don't have any questions on legal matters, but since you're talking to us in a professional fashion, may I ask you a professional question? Where the fuck are you? What are you doing in that car right now? You can hear her turn signal is on. Or maybe she has a metronome in the car? Like, is she trying to hypnotize us through the video? Like, what is that? Why is your turn signal on? Are you filming this while driving? She's doing this at like a red light or something? Imagine being one of the poor souls behind her. She just sits in her car filming a fucking 5-minute video at the red light.
I feel that it's important that I use this platform that was thrust upon me and now look at as a blessing as opposed to the curse that it has been since 2008.
Wow. How brave. What a hero, Casey. Yeah, that platform that was thrust upon you. Time to turn it into a blessing. Right. That's very strong, very strong. I cut around some of her blabbering, but I really wanted to show you that part. She takes on this tone that she's some kind of victim, and now she's rising from the ashes like a phoenix from this circus she was put through to use her expertise as a legal advocate to give a voice to the voiceless. And now she's here to help all of us. Too fast, too furious. Casey Anthony is back. She was a victim. A curse thrust upon her, but she turned that curse to a purse where she's gonna make a lot of money off being an influencer and a legal advocate for everybody's benefit. Yeah, Casey Anthony, wee. It goes on for like another minute. I'm not gonna bother even going through the rest of it. The turn signal stays on for the remainder of the video, or whatever the fuck that noise is. But overall, Casey Anthony rebrand is pretty successful. More successful than IHOP to IHOB back in the day. That didn't go over nearly as well as the Casey Anthony rebrand. And it's really fucking sad. That really sucks. Imagine a world where you are arguing what Casey Anthony said, like as if it means anything, as if that has any real merit or value. Well, I was following Casey Anthony and she gave me this unbelievably great advice. Oh, you were following Casey Anthony. Like, full stop, that's where I would write you off as an absolute unstable, unwell lunatic. That you would be taking advice from Casey Anthony. But that's the world we're in right now. There are people that are now following Casey Anthony as a champion. It's so disgusting. I just can't even picture what kind of rotten dweeb maniac would unironically turn to Casey Anthony of all people for advice on anything at all, unless it's how to get away with killing someone. It's just, we've got some wild shit going on here. It's what I think to be a pretty obvious, blatant attempt at just using her name as a means of making money off people who right now, we live in a time where people will follow and support literally anybody and anything, no matter what. So she's trying to capitalize off of that. So I think it absolutely sucks. That's about it. See ya. This guy has a smile like that old Momo creepypasta picture, and he has been blowing up online because he's become a public spittoon for people to just spit in. He's like a 5-foot basketball hoop that people just can't help but dunk on. His name is NFT Nick.
They said Filecoin wasn't a buy at $5. They said D-Gods would get a $20,000 airdrop from Wormhole. They said Daniel Allegre is a great CEO. They said Bodogos isn't the top NFT project. Keep down. Look at us now.
This was his first video that really blew up because it really tingles something deep inside the soul of every viewer that just makes them want to bully him because it looks like he really needs it. He's just like a knuckle sandwich magnet, but verbally. So everyone said their piece about him being a turbo cringe loser, and that was that. He then made it his entire identity to continue this persona. I truly believe NFT Nick is just playing a character. I think this is all just rage bait. It's not real. I'm pretty sure he's just engagement farming because that's become so prevalent on Twitter since you can monetize your hit tweets now if you get a lot of engagement. So I think NFT Nick is just leaning into this to continue to try and farm that engagement, and it is working.
Yo, cheers to all the Twitter haters who said I don't own my Miami house. I'll have you know I had the staff load up my jet so I could fly out here to my New York City penthouse pied-à-terre. Anyways, while you're click-clacking on Twitter from your mom's basement, I'll be sitting here sipping from my $5,000 bottle of champagne. Remember, choose rich.
I threw you into the deep end of the pool here of NFT Nick lore, but I thought it was important so you could see his more modern attitude here, where he's leaning into like the extraordinarily wealthy douchebag angle. He got community noted because the bottle of wine he showcased is not actually $5,000, it's less than $85. And his whole personality, I think, is just fake on purpose to manufacture outrage and try and capitalize off it and make money from it. Which I think is kind of pathetic, and I don't think it's worth it. Now, of course, I'm not Fuckface's PR guy, I'm not his dad, I can't tell him how to live his life, but I don't think it's worth just being constantly humiliated by every single human being on the planet, because it's well known that Twitter engagements don't pay that well. You get pennies. You get less than pennies. You get fucking handfuls of dirt for millions of impressions. I don't know how much he made from all of this blatant engagement farming, but I have to imagine it wasn't a ton. Like, I bet he probably would have been able to make more money being a real birthday party clown as opposed to a Twitter NFT clown. It just doesn't seem like you're going to be making enough money for this to ever be worth the constant shame of this being your legacy.
I chose rich every time.
There's nothing more hilarious than a guy sitting next to "I chose rich every time" from a clearly rented house. He claims to own it, but his suitcase is right in the corner. So I guess he's gonna struggle to explain that one, why he hasn't unpacked in his own house.
Coffeezilla was wrong there. He did not struggle to come up with an excuse. He said it was from his staff packing his bags about ready to go on his private jet. So he has been very much leaning into this and thriving off of the controversy. And he's far from the only one doing this shit. It's become the norm on Twitter now to either spam porn advertisements for OnlyFans through like those ad posts that they're constantly doing. If you've seen these leaks, you're not going to heaven. Anyone seen this full video? Who's got this video? The internet was so much better before this OnlyFans leak happened. All of that garbage. It's that and then blatant rage bait farming. That's the main content you see on Twitter now, because all of it is geared towards just monetizing this shit. And engagements right now are the easiest one, because you just post some incendiary remarks or just like really over-the-top statements and get people to dunk on you for it, to shit on you for it, and you make a little bit of money from that. And you just keep rinse and repeating that process. And I think that's the whole shtick behind NFT Nick. Make these posts, hope people keep insulting you so that way you can keep farming it, and I bet the happiest part of his day is when he gets notified that his post has been community noted, because then he gets follow-up content that has guaranteed eyes on it, because everyone wants to see how you defend yourself when you get community noted. And then he just doubles down on it again and gets community noted further and lets that cycle just continue, so he gets more and more impressions, which translates to more and more Twitter ad rev. That's my theory behind it. Though I guess it is entirely possible that he is genuinely just an insufferable asshole.
Yo, shout out to the Twitter people praying for my downfall while saying my champagne ain't real. Keep questioning my life while you cry into your TV dinner, and my chauffeur brings me the $3,000 high tea service at Baccarat. Choose rich.
This was his follow-up video to the previous one where he got community noted about the champagne. Community notes really came for his scalp there, triple fisting him, debunking like 3 of the things he said here. But again, all of it, I'm pretty sure he does on purpose. So first they point out that they never said the champagne was fake, then they also point out that what he said about Baccarat is incorrect, and then they also mention that you can see the reflection of an Uber driver in his glasses. So he's not being chauffeured around or anything like that. And this was his response to that community note. The community note haters are in disbelief. I own a fleet of Ubers, but the poors wouldn't understand that concept. Felipe is my personal driver. Choose rich. So he adopted the choose rich as his slogan now, which is a pretty cool slogan, up there with the Lucky Charms one. They're magically delicious. But I think this post makes it painfully obvious that this is all satirical. It's so over the top, so outrageous, it can be nothing other than on purpose. Like, this isn't someone that's genuinely trying to convince people of their wealth or anything like that. This isn't their real attitude. It's all just a character they're playing. And I think the motive is obviously rage baiting for engagement, because he's being as abrasive as possible. He's being a huge douchebag, and everyone feels compelled to make fun of someone like that. And he makes a little bit of money when they do. So I think that's his whole hustle here. But again, I can openly admit that I could be totally wrong. He could actually just be an insufferable, delusional asshole. I don't know. But one thing I know for certain is he doesn't own a fleet of Ubers, because that would be fucking nonsensical. And also, he does not have a driver named Felipe. Now, it's entirely possible that Nick has a friend named Felipe who comes over for sleepovers occasionally, and they both giggle and touch each other's G-spot whenever they see the word blockchain mentioned in headlines. That could be real. Felipe could actually exist in Nick's life, but he is not his driver. That much is certain.
Good morning, haters. Yo, so y'all trying to say that my chauffeur is an Uber driver? Y'all keep hating while I kick off my week screening Scarface from my private movie theater in my New York City pied-à-terre. Remember, choose rich.
Nick's face makes him look like he's constantly on the verge of sneezing. It looks like he's just perpetually stuck looking at the sun and like scrunching his whole face in agony. But anyway, I figured I'd at least share his response to the Uber driver allegations. And for some reason, this video in particular, I can't get to load beyond this quality, so it looks like absolute dog shit. It looks like a YouTube video out of 2008. It's highly pixelated, and there's nothing I can do to change that, so I'm sorry about that, but I wanted to at least give you the complete Nick rundown here with that video response. Again, I'm almost 100% certain this is all just engagement farming, and, well, yeah, that's really about it. So yeah. I don't think I've ever looked at an extremely wealthy person and thought to myself, damn, I feel bad for them. Until today. I found this absolutely pathetic turbo virgin douchebag on TikTok who apparently has a ton of money, but is extremely insecure, and it just comes across as the saddest shit I've seen in my life. And I thought I'd share at least a little bit of this guy with you.
Alright, so since y'all keep talking shit, I'm going to rub more of my opulent lifestyle in your faces.
This is an actual person, by the way. He looks like Gary Vee going through a phase. This guy looks like a GTA Online character that's being controlled by a 13-year-old, and his house looks exactly the same as that. Like, it's an actual middle schooler's fantasy for shit they'd think is cool. He's trying so hard to make it look like he's not trying at all. He's doing that generic rich asshole thing where he just puts a gun out on a counter during his tour. Oh, whoops-a-daisy. How embarrassing. It looks like my AK-47's just sitting out in the open. Oh, goodness gracious. But that doesn't even look like a real AK-47. It looks like a prop. It looks like something he got out of Party City. Shit looks like it's made out of chocolate. It could be real, I suppose, but I think what's more likely there is he asked his mom if he could go buy a gun for his video, and he just went to the nearest Walmart and got whatever toy he could find.
I'm gonna give you a tour of just one room of my grandiose two-story penthouse in paradise. It's basically like Fifth Avenue with one of the best Caribbean Ocean views you'll ever see.
What a lovely picture behind him. An American Psycho reference, obviously, but what an incredible photo shoot. His sister worked really hard that day to set that one up for him. Just to really give the impression to anyone that comes over that this guy has sex, but once you meet him, you'll know for sure he doesn't.
Alright, and for those of you who say I rent my shit, yeah, I'm sure the guy that I rented my place from put these two $50,000 mirrors perfectly aligned on the wall so that I could put a 7-foot self-portrait of myself perfectly in between them.
Yes, this guy's got thousands of fucking self-portraits of himself all over the place. That's his big thing. Just art of himself everywhere. I'm sure his toilet even has pictures of his face on it, so that way he's always eating your ass out. But the thing is, I can't find too much information about how he made his money, so I'm led to believe that he's just a trust fund kid who's grown up, but has never really experienced anything in the world, so this is what he thinks is cool. I don't know for sure, because I really thought going into this it was satire, but the more I've watched from this guy, the more I believe that this is just him. This is genuinely what he is and what he's become. Now, admittedly, I didn't look that hard into his background. I just watched his TikToks to laugh at them. So maybe he actually did make money somehow, like scamming through NFTs or crypto or something. It's possible, but I think what's most likely is his money just comes from his parents.
Dumb. Look at this. This is 3,000 square feet. One room, 3,000 square feet of pure chic opulence. That's bigger than most of y'all's houses, I'm sure. Or 3 times the size of mom's basement you live in.
Ooh, hear that, basement dwellers? You just got fucking chatted on a little bit. I also love that he starts this, since you all are talking shit and hurting my feelings, I'm gonna cry on camera by pretending like my life has meaning with this money that I didn't earn. Like, he literally starts the video like, since you're making me feel bad, I'm gonna try and flex, and it still doesn't make me feel any less bad, but maybe it'll make you not feel cool too, asshole.
Look at this. Look at this Calcutta marble. It's 100G of marble between that wall insulation and my dining table. And that chandelier, that'll run you about the cost of 2 entry-level Mercedes Benzes. So if you want to keep talking go ahead. F you. I give 0 fucks.
Yeah, this looks and sounds like a guy who gives 0 fucks. Literally comes on here whining and crying about talking shit, so he tries to flex. Yeah, you really don't care, big guy.
Alright, little advice for all you TikTok trolling minion clowns who in your language don't pull. Bitches love hot tubs. Especially decadent ass motherfucking hot tubs like this. Look at this
Yeah, this guy speaks like he just learned what cussing is. And those girls look extremely happy to be there, the way they're just rubbing up all on him. They are enamored right now. They're hypnotized by this man's wealth and suave badassness. That's like his bio. He says how much of a badass he is. It's really pretty embarrassing shit. This man is the embodiment of cringe, if cringe also came with a couple $1 million from daddy. So he keeps suckling on his parents' tits and milking them for all they're worth for these TikTok videos here. And he's obviously paid these women to be here. You can tell by the way they're acting. This isn't like normal. This is a shoot. This is a fucking shoot, and they're paid for like 45 minutes of their time. I always find that to be the most embarrassing shit about these kind of people that try and flex wealth. The women they put in their videos is always very clearly people they have paid to be there. How is that not extremely embarrassing? That you had to pay women to be around you for your videos.
questioning my legitimacy and overall badassness. So I felt the need, of course, to retort in kind. Right now, I'm sitting on a $12,000 chair.
That's another thing that's always bothered me about these rich people videos, is that they can just make up prices for shit whenever they want, and you have no way of really proving it wrong. But I bet that's not a $12,000 chair that his swamp ass is sitting on. That's probably one of those like really cheap chairs that you can find at Halloween stores once a year that they use for decorations outside.
I'm sitting in front of my mugshot, painted on bullets. It's pretty cool. You may ask yourself, why the does this guy have this? Why does he have it? Well, the answer is number 1, because I can, and number 2, because I'm badass as I am the game.
My man here is the opposite of the game. This guy had to pay women to be around him. Now, it does look like he has money, so the first one is true. He has it because he can. The second one, though, I don't think there's a single person alive that would consider this guy badass. He is literally crying on TikTok in almost every video about people being mean to him. So his response to that is flexing wealth on him that he may or may not have made himself. Again, I don't know for sure. But that doesn't strike me as something a badass would do. And something that a badass would absolutely never do is call themselves badass as fuck. That's like Borderlands writing. Jesus Christ. Also, you've probably seen the necklace that he's wearing. It says S my C. It's suck my cock. The guy made a custom sterling silver suck my cock necklace. So this is a guy who is beyond insecure. He probably reads every comment, and any one of them that's not sucking his cock is considered a negative comment and probably takes a large toll on his mental health. He is probably not in the right frame of mind to be on TikTok, since most people on there are just making fun of him. It's a really sad thing, honestly. And it just goes to show, maybe money can't buy happiness. That's about it. See ya. Today I want to talk about a popular trend on YouTube. I've actually touched on it before. It's those morning routine videos from rich people that are supposed to be like almost motivational, but usually are just used as a vessel to promote their newest product line that's coming out. So I want to talk about one in particular here that I think serves as a good example for all of them. This is the daily routine of a 24-year-old CEO. And just in case you didn't hear me, this is a 24-year-old CEO, and you best not forget it. This man, this 24-year-old CEO, is CEO of 5 companies. And out of the goodness of his heart, he's granting us permission to take a sneak peek into his day-to-day life. His near celestial existence. We, as spectators, get to come in and observe and learn from him. He's allowing us to suckle on his bosom. Nay, he is grabbing us by our unworthy skulls and placing it on his nipples to suckle. And believe it or not, we are truly blessed. He's giving us a sneak preview of his upcoming product lines.
One of my favorite ideas that I've ever heard was the thought of doing today what others aren't willing to do, so I can do tomorrow what they can't.
Meet Jose, the man your girlfriend is fucking in her dreams. Jose is a 24-year-old CEO, if you can believe that, and we're about to see what it's like to go on a date with him, because this is definitely not a fucking day-to-day routine, because he's shirtless half the time, and it feels like he's trying to get my dick out of my pants. I really feel like this video should have been what it's like to date a 24-year-old CEO. And spoiler alert, it looks like a fucking headache. This man is so full of cliches and he just comes across as super disingenuous, especially when the majority of this is just centered around his new essentials line of clothing or some shit like that.
One of my best wins in the morning is waking up at 5 a.m. In my opinion, it gives me a head start, allows me to outwork my competition and get more things done before it's even work hours. Throw on my Essentials muscle tee and I'm out.
Excuse me, did you catch that? His Essentials muscle tee? If you don't have that, you're not copping wins in the morning. You get up at 4 a.m., but if you don't have an Essentials muscle tee, you're fucking losing, baby. The competition's out there beating the shit out of you because they got Essentials muscles tee.
I hate running and I hate morning workouts. I do both. This is a great way to callous the mind and start your day off with the win.
Jose just can't stop winning in the morning, baby! He's going for a morning jog. He's going for a morning workout. He doesn't touch on it in the video, but I'm sure while he's going for that jog, he's closing 7-figure deals on his laptop, so he's making use of that time. No time is going to waste, but he still probably finds time to help old ladies across the street, because you gotta cop those big W's, baby.
There's a great way to get my adrenaline pumping. Now that I'm awake, I'll hop in the shower. I prefer to use cold water. It's better than a cup of coffee. It wakes you up instantly, and it's actually good for your skin.
You can get your sneak peek of the cameraman in the reflection there. Could be his brother, could just be an 18-year-old kid who was just looking for a quick buck, so posted an ad on Craigslist and Jose hit him up. Kid had no idea what he was in for. I wouldn't be surprised if Jose got totally nude for that shower shot. Cameraman was probably like, hey Jose, we're only doing torso up, you don't need to get naked. No, fuck that. Here's a CEO lesson for you. No half-assed measures. I'm going full cock out, even if it's not on camera.
As an entrepreneur, I own a lot of brands, 5 of them to be exact, each of them requiring a lot of time, attention, and care. Most would find just building one brand to be nearly impossible, so the thought of having 5 sounds insane.
When I heard him say that, I damn near shit my trousers. I couldn't believe it. I was blown back into my chair. 5 brands! It truly does sound impossible, and yet, thanks to the power of cold showers and an early morning jog, Jose is able to do it with ease.
But with good time management, I'm actually able to balance everything perfectly. Now it's time for lunch. Eating clean, this is something that I live by. I preach about it all the time. Health is wealth. If you want to perform right, you gotta feed your body with the proper fuel.
This is a truly riveting daily routine. He gets up, he jogs, he showers, and he eats. Why the fuck didn't I think of that? Shit, if only I had come up with these ingenious solutions to wealth, I could have 5 brands by now, god damn it. And now, frankly, I'm just mad that he shared the Krabby Patty secret formula with the world.
You see guys, your time, it's money, which means it's valuable. This is why I don't like to waste time, and instead I multitask, so while I eat, I like to do my tedious tasks, like answering emails.
What is this man? Nay, this god. He's able to eat and answer emails? Oh, Jesus Christ! Science said it couldn't be done! And yet Jose's proved him wrong yet again. As he said in the beginning of the video, do what can't be jerked off yesterday with what I can fuck today, or some fucking profound garbage like that. It's incredible. It's incredible, groundbreaking stuff. I looked into this because I got curious. This whole video is a promotional video for his essential brand or whatever. This video alone, he claims to have generated $1 million worth of sales for his essential brand. Now, I'm no 24-year-old 5-brand CEO or anything, but I can say with a high degree of certainty, you're not gonna get fucking rich by buying his essential muscle tees. That's just not gonna happen. You're immediately doing it wrong. The video is supposed to teach you how to get wealthy, and you're immediately throwing fucking wealth away to make him wealthier. You've done the exact opposite of what you were trying to do by watching this motivational video. So if you bought essential muscle tees thinking that you were gonna get Jose's life because you fucking did that, you're an idiot.
Now it's time for my evening workout. My brand image is everything, so keeping my body in shape is crucial. If that means hitting the weight room 6 times a week, so be it.
2 workouts in a single day? Jose, you've gone mad.
Now I like to focus on compound movements. Being that I was a scrawny, lanky kid just a few years ago, these help me pack on about 30 pounds of muscle. Now what that means for you is that whether you're overweight, or scrawny yourself, you could do it too. There's no excuse.
Well, actually, there is an excuse, Jose. Not everyone is a super wealthy elite douchebag. The gym membership's pretty expensive for a lot of people, and compound lifts, a lot of them require access to weights that not everyone's going to be able to find for a cheap price for their own home gym. You know, you need bench press, for example, squat rack. These are things that not everyone has access to, unlike you and your fucking mansion here that you're probably renting.
After the gym, this is my time to unwind.
More like behind. Could you have found a tighter pair of pants? I feel like I can see your asshole through these things. What are these, a size turbo small? Was this just the smallest pair they had available at Baby Gap?
This is my favorite part. I hop in the car and go for a long drive. Business is like a chess game. You always gotta be 3 moves ahead of your competition. So whether that's analyzing the market for new trends or a new business venture, going on these long drives allows me to think creatively and freely.
But only if you have a Lamborghini. If you don't have a Lamborghini, you have no right to be driving around on Jose's roads. Also, I don't really understand that. How the fuck is driving around aimlessly helping you in your business ventures? You are genuinely wasting time, which is one of the things you pledge never to do. It's not like you can get any work done while you're on the road except make idle calls every now and then at a stoplight, unless you're fucking texting while driving, which you shouldn't be. But anyway, this is a genuine waste of time by all definitions, just wildly, aimlessly wandering the roads doing fucking nothing.
At the end of the day, when it's all said and done, all the work has been put in, it's time to relax. This is when you let your mind at ease. And for everybody, it could be different, whether it's hanging with friends or reading a good book. For me, it's a good cocktail. Meet up with some friends and innately call it a night.
That's where his day comes to its incredible, exhilarating conclusion, and then he plugs Essential one more time. I gotta say, what a fucking boring day-to-day routine. This dude does less than a day than a professional high school gamer. Like, this dude's day consists of getting up early to jog, work out, shower, eat, answer a couple emails, work out, go on a long drive, and then get a cocktail and go to bed. When the fuck do you do anything interesting or productive for your business? You hype yourself up as this crazy fucking guru CEO, and your day-to-day activities are genuinely doing nothing. I mean, I felt like this was just something that was supposed to woo me over if I matched with you on Tinder or something. This didn't feel like anything of any substance, and of course, shamelessly plugging your brand, which allegedly worked for you, so congrats on that front. But this is totally useless if anyone's trying to be motivated by your day-to-day routine. The only thing this teaches them is, hey, maybe get up early and work out. The most generic advice anyone could ever give anyone. It's just a silly fucking trend of videos. I don't know why rich YouTubers always like to do these day-to-day motivational video activity things. Makes no sense to me. Doesn't help anyone, and it's just shamelessly there to promote whatever merch they're working on. Just some dumb shit, that's about it. So yeah. Have you ever wondered why you're not a millionaire right now? Well, the reason's pretty simple. It's because you don't have the right morning routine. You haven't optimized your day-to-day like all the other rich people in the world have. It's the only thing holding you back. All you have to do is follow what countless YouTubers have shown you for their morning routines, and you're guaranteed millions of dollars. I've clowned on rich people morning routine videos for years, and I will continue to do so forever because for some reason these fucking things are still popular. And it's always just the same garbage regurgitated over and over again like it's 2 girls, 1 cup. Get up at 4 a.m. You gotta be ready to grind. You gotta start your day while everyone else is sleeping. While they're snoozing, catching Z's, you're catching W's. 4 a.m. when even the Sandman is slumbering. You're doing 100 push-ups, then you drink a raw egg smoothie, then brush your teeth using coal instead of toothpaste, and rub powderized rhino horn on your nipples. And then like 50 other steps that take like 5 hours, and then by like 9 a.m. after you've done everything imaginable, like it's a triathlon, then you start to maybe think about doing something productive. It's all just nonsense. Almost every single time these videos are just there to promote products. Usually they're sponsored videos, and they are always pushing a wide array of things that you'll never need. It's just because they get a kickback for it, for like supplements or skin creams or hair shit, grooming shit. It's never like authentic. And today I want to show you one that I just saw from a YouTuber named Alex Costa, whose video is titled "The Morning Routine That Made Me Millions." So it leads people to believe that if they follow this, they might be able to start making some millions too, just because they're following this successful person's routine. I want to pop a quick addendum here, a little free pro tip. He's in New York for this. And making $1 million in New York is like making $20 anywhere else in the country. 1 million clams in New York gets you maybe a 1-bedroom apartment with 100 rats for roommates. So I'd wager a guess Alex Costa didn't make his millions through this morning routine in New York. And far be it from me to question the expert here, but I don't think the morning routine was what was necessarily getting him all of that money.
Hey Google, play my AC morning playlist.
I didn't even realize I had the video set to 2x speed until right now when I was watching it back, and I thought to myself, something's gone awry here. The music sounds like Stardew Valley if it was sped up. And then I went back to the video and realized I had set it to 2x speed. I don't even know when I did that. I must have just got real bored when I watched it the first time. Anyway, though, everything so far is just so normal. He gets up at 7 o'clock. That's like a reasonable time to get up. He splashes some water on his face. He puts on some deodorant. He makes the bed. Super simple stuff. At the very least, to Alex Costa's credit, he's not doing something over the top and ridiculous like, I get up at 5 a.m. and the first thing I do is I drive my monster truck through a fucking brick wall just to feel alive and start my day. Get used to seeing Forte. There's a lot of those products here, interestingly enough. Maybe in order to be a millionaire, you gotta start getting Forte products, I think is the message it's trying to get across, as well as a perfectly positioned power crunch bar. But the keen eye, the astute observers may have noticed something fishy when it zoomed in on the power crunch bar. I actually don't think you would have seen this because I have it set to 2x speed when I was recording it. But when I watched it at normal speed, you can see the clock on his iPad actually says 12:43. So he's just full of shit here that he's working by 7:30 a.m. That's a load of horseradish. Now, to give him the benefit of the doubt, perhaps it's all just a dramatic recreation of his morning routine. So for the sake of filming it, he didn't actually do his normal morning routine for this. He helped elevate it with the filming, but normally he's working at 7:30 a.m. Or, to go even further, maybe he's just telling us about the routine that made him millions, and now that he's made millions, he doesn't follow this shit at all. Now he gets up at 12 o'clock, stumbles out of bed, morning wood, maybe busts a load into the toilet, and then starts his day kind of whenever he wants. That's certainly possible too. The big thing to remember when watching these videos is they're mainly there to sell you on something, either the products that are presented in them, this one is literally sponsored by something called Whoop, or they're there to sell you on an idea that they've made hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars through this routine, and you can too if you follow it and follow them. And in this case, it's both. It aims to do both. I would like for a really honest rich person routine to come out at some point, like just some fucking absurdly wealthy person's like, hey, here's my my daily routine. I wake up covered in shit and puke after last night's ayahuasca bender. Once again, it's not the time that he says it is. It's not 8:20 a.m. It's 1:28 p.m. There's like a whole minute worth of Whoop sponsored section, and I'm pretty sure that was the reason this video got made in the first place, is because Whoop wanted an ad slot with him, so he thought he'd just throw out a fucking morning routine video, and then he could also just cram it with products out the wazoo for like Forte and the meal prep plan and all of that. It's not a morning routine video. He is making a commercial, and people really think that this is what he does day to day. Forte is his brand. It's his products. In a shock to nobody. I'm sure you could kind of pick up on that. I'm sure you were able to sniff that out, considering every fucking square inch of this video has some kind of Forte placement in it. Thank heavens I had this video in 2x speed. I would hate for anyone to go through the agonizing, excruciating torture of watching all of that at normal speed, because it's literally like 1:30 all about him just putting Forte in his hair and beard and all of that. I still really don't understand why people actually like morning routine videos. You don't get anything valuable out of it. You're watching a guy just take a shower and put shit in his hair and beard, his own products, to try and sell you on it. Like, what did you learn there? Hygiene? Like, do hygiene in the morning? Like, that's a good idea? If you're an adult that has to watch a morning routine YouTube video to be taught that good hygiene is important, you're already fucked.
Yo, what's good? Bro, these photos from the Forte shoot yesterday, they're sick. Really? Dude, check them out. Yo, these came out tough. What? Bro, look at this.
Bro, come over here. Check this shit out. That photo shoot from yesterday with Forte, you know, the brand that we own. Look at how these photos came out. They're like the Mona Lisa. Like, aren't they awesome? Do you think I look hot enough, though? Like, be honest. Like, do I look hot enough? Okay, alright. Now we spend an hour photoshopping girth on my Forte photos, like that's part of the daily routine or some shit. I just find these so fucking stupid. I really do. Like, a normal person is not going to have a job like Alex Costa where they sit around and just stare at photos of themselves, and that's work. This daily routine is not going to work for 99% of human beings on the planet. It's just, like, what the fuck is the point? It's, there's nothing new there. You watch a guy pretend that he gets up at 7, pretend to work out at 8, pretend to do all of these things throughout the day, and it culminates with his work being staring at photos of himself at home. Like, this is not a morning routine that is beneficial or helpful or insightful to, like, anybody in his audience at all. It's all just here to push products in their face in a sly way. It's, I don't know, I just think it's so fucking cringe. I had to talk about it. That's about it. See ya. I'm sure you've all heard the expression, fake it till you make it. But today I want to take a look at what happens when all you do is fake it without ever making it. You end up like this loser we're about to take a look at today. A guy who has become a complete parody of self-confidence, but without any level of self-awareness. He portrays himself as an extremely successful, extremely rich guy that would have no problem at all stealing your wife right out from under your nose. It's beautiful stuff that he talks about.
Take you, for example, and me, and we both pull up and we go to your girl. Odds are I'm gonna take that bitch. If you compared me to you, you're not gonna win that battle.
Bro's out here rocking that man dark body type and acting like he for some reason be able to take your girl just because he rolled up in a rented McLaren. This guy's entire personality is money. He's like a real life Mr. Krabs, but with even skinnier arms. So he believes because he has money that he's entitled to women and women find him irresistible. You can tell by looking at him this was no jock in high school. This wasn't exactly the prom king. Yet he pretends that he is now. He talks about how successful his businesses are now. He has a 9-figure business. He has all of this money. Though I don't necessarily take him at his word because I just don't believe a fucking word this guy says.
So the next time you think that your girl's on lock, I got the keys to the castle, motherfucker.
I have no doubt he spent hours trying to cook up that finishing line right there. The keys to the castle. Now, why I don't believe him about the success of his business is because the only thing he shows that's worth money is his car, the McLaren. He's made like 1,000 shorts about how much money he spends filling up a McLaren's tank, or how often he drives his McLaren, and that is the only thing worth a lot of money that he's ever shown, at least that I've seen. So that leads me to believe that it is 100% rented, or he really dumped all of his money into that one vehicle in order to portray himself as a successful businessman. He did a little house tour, and it's very humble living. It's a nice place, but it's not exactly like a super mega mansion you would expect someone with a 9-figure business to own. And he's not wearing a ton of ice or anything like that, and he's clearly a guy who loves to flex because he's always talking about his wealth and his success, yet the only thing you can ever see from that is that McLaren. Now this may be like a tinfoil hat conspiracy, but I truly just think he either rents it for these videos, or even more depressingly, drained all of his finances to make that big purchase with that belief that this car would be enough to convince people that he has a lot of money. Like, he spec'd all of his points into delusion here and is just letting it rip. Like, this McLaren means I'm successful. I gotta fake it till I make it. This is how I do it.
Here's why the gym does not matter. I'm tired of guys that are like, oh, you know, I'm going to the gym, I'm trying to get fit. I feel like I have a pretty decent tone.
Did douchebag Slenderman get you with that jump scare in the beginning? So this is his rant about why going to the gym makes you a fucking idiot. Because he's skinny and insecure, so you going to the gym is offensive to him. It's pretty pathetic. You don't want to go to the gym, that's fine. Buddy's out here built like 2 french fries duct taped to an uncooked spaghetti noodle. And if you're happy with your body there, that's absolutely fine. But why shit on people that are going to the gym? He makes a whole rant about why it's stupid to do it, which is laughable.
I don't need to go to the gym, because you pull up to the gym making less than 10K a month, pulling up in your bullshit fucking Corolla, and I pull up in my McLaren. It's not even a contest, dude. No one gives a fuck about your muscles. Most of the guys that go to the gym, I'm sorry to tell you this, but you're fucking stupid. All that pre-workout that you're taking is making you more stupider.
So unless you're making over 10K a month, you don't have the right to go to the gym? Like, he's not even making a point. Like, he's not even saying, like, the time you spend in the gym, you could be spent learning how to drop ship things from Alibaba. Like, he's not even, like, trying to make some kind of point. He's just like, you're stupid for going to the gym because you're making less than 10K a month. He actually sounds like he's about to cry. You're stupid with your dumb muscles, dumb muscle man. Like, what in the crazy insecurity are you going through right now to think that this was a good idea?
Here's why you gotta break up with your girlfriend if you're not making 6 figures a year. Brutal honest truth is that girls need a man who can protect and provide for them. If you're not making at least 10K a month, how the fuck are you gonna protect and provide for your girl?
Man's out here boofing crazy pills. You don't need to be making 10K a month in order to protect your girlfriend. You have absolutely no meat on your bones whatsoever. The only foe you're equipped to handle is if the gingerbread men from Shrek tried to attack your girl, then maybe you could fend them off. But everyone above the age of 18 and weighing more than 100 pounds, it's going to be a tough tussle. And making more than 10K a month doesn't enable you to magically protect her better. If someone's making a ruckus and you're trying to stop whatever's going on, the amount of money you have isn't going to do anything for you. You can't just be like throwing money at it like, get away from her, you scallywag. She's with me and I make more than 10K a month. Here's money. Like throwing it all over the place to get them away. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It's just pure delusion. Now, I guess, like, he's not wrong. If you make more money, you can provide more, I suppose. But what the fuck does that have to do with anything? So if you don't make 100K at least a year, break up with your girl.
It's cool that she's sticking with you right now because you're trying to build yourself. But at the same time, if some guy like me comes up and gets in the way, she's gonna choose me over you because I can provide more. In this feast or famine world, women will always pick the best case scenario because they don't want to get hurt. And you being broke as fuck definitely hurts.
What hurts more than being broke is being broke but pretending you're not, like this guy. It's so... I don't know if he actually believes the shit he's selling or if it's only to try and get people to, like, sign up to courses or anything like that. I'm really not sure if he actually, like, loves the smell of his own farts or if it all is an act. I couldn't tell you. Either way, it's to further the goal of making money off the back of desperate people who see this and think that this guy is actually super successful and is trying to give them the secrets to success. It's all just another guru scam, but... I find him particularly entertaining because he's doing the bare minimum. He didn't even bother to invest in his own body to look the part, so he's not in good shape. He didn't bother to even really pretend to have a lot of money aside from that McLaren that he shows from time to time. And he's just saying things that other gurus say. And I don't know if he's actually found real success. I know he has quite a bit of botted engagement that I've seen online, at least as of everything I've been able to research from it. But other than that, I don't know if anyone even believes his act. I would be surprised if they did, because he's very bad at it. Also, just to explain why there's driving underneath his video, it's because it's a TikTok thing where everyone needs perpetual stimulation, constant jingling keys, so for any video where it's talking, they play like Subway Surfers or anything engaging a game underneath to keep viewers' attention. It's pathetic. TikTok has absolutely rotted brains where people need like absolute activity at every single moment. They can't just listen to talking on there.
So if you always wondered what dating an entrepreneur looks like, this is what the fuck it looks like. I don't cook, I don't clean, I got whiteboards all over the place. My setup's there, this is like my sanctuary. No one fucks with me here. As far as a fridge, it's pretty fucking awful. So I got beer, Happy Dads, Gatorade, oh dude, Bel Air bottle, champagne. I got these Dunkin' Donut iced coffees, and then for dinner I'll go to the pier and like have dinner. I will never fucking cook. This will never be used. I don't even know why I have a fucking mitt.
And here's the look at the house I mentioned. It's clearly a cozy spot. It's a nice house. It's not a super elaborate house. This is not a mega mansion or anything like that. So if he's a super successful 9-figure guy who loves to flex everything, why would he be living in a house like this? It doesn't make any sense. That doesn't really track. I also love the whole whiteboard thing. He probably watched one video on like, it's important to write down your goals or whatever as an entrepreneur. So he bought like 9 whiteboards and hung them all up and filled them with gibberish nonsense. I tried zooming in on the frame where it focuses on a whiteboard, but I couldn't make it out because his handwriting looks like he wrote it while he was getting hit by an earthquake. So it's completely illegible for the most part. But I'm pretty sure one of them was agility. And he had a check mark next to it, meaning he must have done like agility drills, I suppose. I could be reading it incorrectly, but I'm almost positive it said just agility on one of them. Maybe it's like RuneScape goals and he's like skilling right now, so he's working on agility and he checked it off once he got like a certain amount of XP. I don't know. Very goofy regardless though.
Here's just a couple of signs that your girlfriend might be cheating. Number one is she's not texting you as readily as you've used to.
Easiest way to tell if your girl is cheating is, did she ever find that you bought this guy's course? If she did, she's absolutely cheating. No doubt. And you deserve it. Why the fuck would you buy a course from a guy like this? It's so embarrassing. Like he actually just went to like WikiHow and just started copying articles on like how to tell if your girl is cheating. 7 life hacks for that. And then he just starts regurgitating them here. But anyway, I could go on and on. There's so many embarrassing shorts he's made, but there's no reason to just keep going over it. I just wanted to showcase some of his better ones here and talk about it a little bit. That's about it. See ya.